Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have a match of the ages. It is Trash Island Fire Department, not really infighting so much as competitive rivalry. We have LordFizzlebeef and Tarnin, titans of the 3-1 category. One of them is going to move on to 4-1. One of them is going to move to 3-2. I am ShadowWalker227, and I am joined tonight by Falconic. How are you doing, Falconic?
Hey, Shadow. I'm doing pretty well. I think we should go ahead and buckle ourselves in now. This is a race of probably two of the best friends in all of Final Fantasy Randomizer, and I'm happy to have another best friend here in the booth with me. We've got some shenanigans on the way. Do you want to tell them a little bit about what we have been informed of, what we know at the very least?
So what we know at the very least is that they're running 2 fighters, 2 thieves, but, quote, this is not the spice. Tarnin and Fizzlebeef are absolutely great friends and decided to turn the crazy up to 11 and go full Darkwing Duck and said, let's get dangerous.
The gates have dropped and we're going to find out. They said that when we see it, we'll know. I don't know that I have the perception today to be able to spot it, so I'm hoping either you do or at the very least our chat points it out. So if you see something that is extra spicy, please, by all means, go ahead and start making your guesses now.
Yeah, so we're not really sure what to fully expect. What we do know are the practice times. According to Tarnin, his practice times have been 2.5 hours and 2 hours and 15 minutes. And LordFizzlebeef's practice times have been ... forfeit. So, buckle up, grab your popcorn, we're in for a show, and I cannot wait.
That's the thing with Fizzle, though. Was the ... forfeit out of frustration, or just simply to throw Tarnin off?
See, I don't know, and one thing that I am noticing for sure is that we have 2 fighters, 2 thieves, and LordFizzlebeef is an absolute proponent of speed and power. And we have endgame power, but I don't see where the speed is, so I think that this party composition is going to slightly favor Tarnin. But we're going to have to wait and see, as we're picking up some iron staves, and looks like we're going to go fight some pirates.
The good news is pro rings are in Canary, and they're really, really cheap. So if we find one single chest that gives us like 10, 15k, all of a sudden we've already got death resistance and decent armor to throw on all these characters.
Okay, so Fizzle's going to fight some imps. Tarnin went straight to a secondary weapon shop, going to pick up some short swords. And we're going to see what Tarnin does after that. I think it's going to be pirates, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think it has to be pirates. I'd like to see some armor before we take them on, because going in naked, you're still going to get slapped for upwards of 15, sometimes 20 if they hit hard. And we just don't have the HP for that yet. But hey, wooden shields will help.
Yeah, wooden shields are more absorbed than zero, so let's see if Tarnin decides that's enough to fight pirates. Fizzle's going to remember to equip his weapons, because that helps.
I've heard that helps, yeah. We're going to save... Yeah, I think we're going to save just in case we don't make it through these pirates.
Alright, so a little bit expensive ends to start off with. Canaria being 40 gold and Provoca being 60 gold. Fortunately, we don't have to buy spells, so we're not money-starved just yet, but we are very limited in what we can do in this early game. We need to get some levels going before we can really tackle any serious dungeons.
First check at the chest here. We've got a gauntlet. We'll find out what's at the top left. My real question here is, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm just wondering, what is the spice? Is it no magic? Is that the plan? Was that no mages, no magic? But then we've talked to them before, and I think somebody said that during the practice they went and got fast, so... I don't know.
We have our first loose item. Fizzle finds a bottle in Temple of Fiends. That's not going to help us right away, but it is going to be EXP and gold, which is something that we desperately need with this part.
Mm-hmm. And I agree. Well, Ale pointed out in chat that maybe it's no promotion. I don't think that's the case, because in talks with them, they did mention that they kind of got the short end of the stick in practice runs, and they couldn't purchase fast because it fell outside of the levels. So to me, it sounds like Magic's going to be bought, and if that's the case, promotion's going to happen. But we just don't know. Something about a Thunderdome or some sort of cloud. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Well, the Mystic Key is going to give us a lot more checks in this early game, so that's going to be a very welcome sight. We know that we don't have canoes, so we're probably looking for canal here. Tarnin gets the news about those pearl rings, and we get a mage staff, which is really, really going to help with this particular party. Not having access to sweepers means that casting item is extremely valuable.
In particular, that one, because some of your early dives are going to be like Marsh Cave or Earth Cave, and that mage staff does plenty of work there.
Absolutely. There's a couple dungeons that we're going to need to go to, particularly Fire. Volcano being incentivized this week. That mage staff isn't the greatest there, but it's going to help us get there a lot faster.
Oh, we've got our money. I'd be curious to see if Fizzle does at least purchase one, maybe two pro rings, because like you said, we don't have to worry about spending money on magic right now. And short of like a steel armor, is there really anything else you need a large chunk of money for?
Well, it looks like Fizzle's stocking up on some camping gear, some heal pots. That's one thing that this party can't do, is heal itself very well. So that camping gear, those heal potions are going to be extremely valuable, and already he's spent enough money that he can only afford one pro ring. So I'm curious to see what he does with this. It looks like he's not buying it, though.
What if their twist is something to do with the weapons that they're allowed to have equipped going into TOFR? I'm just in the back of my head trying to figure out what could cause Tarnin, a player of his caliber, to average 2.5 hours to finish, right?
Right. Tarnin is absolutely in the team consistency category, and even the hardest of seeds only takes him an hour 40, 2 hours tops. So if he's putting up times that are above 2 hours, there's something afoot. Don't know what that something is, but something is afoot. And I wonder if not buying that pro ring maybe is part of it. Maybe it's something to do with they're not allowed to take resistances? That seems really foolish, but...
Oh, I hope that's not the case. All it takes is one crab cakes in chat calling Bane right before a fiend has Bane for you to have your day ruined, but that would never happen.
Oh no, that doesn't happen. First turn Bane off a fiend? That doesn't happen.
Not against your 32 black belt that you were hoping would carry the entire seed.
I believe that's your fault for not taking him to 42. In all seriousness, though, it looks like Fizzle might be danning a party member. So, looking to get that thief killed off. He hasn't cured the poison, hasn't healed him in a little bit, so maybe Fizzle's gonna go with a 3-man strat here.
Yeah, I don't hate it. This exact party is what Will Bloodworth took in his last race, and he did the same thing. Lover of Thieves, he kept one alive and Dan the other. He said it was just kind of along the way. He didn't intend for it, but it worked out really well for him, and I think it makes all the sense in the world. You've got 2 fighters, you only need 1 thief for the run chance, and then when they promote, if they promote, maybe you bring them back up, but all you gotta do is find 1 katana in your set.
So, I noticed that Fizzle's still waiting, and that thief is dead. Fizzle's doing a 2-man? That seems really reckless.
I don't know. With a mage staff, to me this seems like it might be 2-man early and then res that fighter for a 3rd man later on, but nah, if he wanted to there, I don't think he would have done the mage staff just yet. Or he's not happy with how quick those pirates would have gotten that fighter down.
I mean, that could be the case. But I think particularly until we see Canal, until we get through potentially the required Marsh dive, because every box that we open that's not a Canal is more leaning towards us going to Marsh. You need bodies through Marsh, especially when you don't have reliable sweepers. And Mage 2 is going to get the job, Mage Staff is going to get the job done most of the way in Marsh Cave, but there's a couple fights in particular that will not be great for.
That 59k chest in Dwarf Cave really solves a lot of problems as far as getting those pro rings and whatnot. If, like you said, if they're even allowed to. I agree with Tarnin here. I think my first instinct here with that key is to just start checking every key lock chest you can and avoid Marsh if possible. Like that.
And there is the canal. So Marsh not required right now. It's potentially required for a different reason, but with the knowledge that we have currently, we can go elsewhere.
Well, we see pro rings on the thieves at least. If Tarnin doesn't buy pro rings for those knights with all the money he has, then I think we're starting to piece together what's going on, and that maybe the fighters aren't allowed to have resistance. Maybe it's thief carry or bust.
I don't know, because he did grab that dragon armor and he did move it to a fighter, so that leads me to believe he's intending on equipping that later. Otherwise, if he was just selling it, then he would just sell it. And hooray, we have lots of chatter with the dwarfs today. Okay,
Not too far behind is going to get his canal, maybe a minute later, but where does Tarnin go next?
So, what would you do with this party? I mean, I feel like the clear play is you go to Crescent to see what your key item is there, or see if it even is a key item. But beyond that, assuming it is the canal, because if it is the canal, we actually have real options. I don't know that I'd feel comfortable doing something like Waterfall or Ordeals just yet with this party.
Mm-hmm. I think I'd lean in the opposite direction. If I'm playing somebody like Fizzle or somebody like Tarnin, which I have in the past, personally I think they're faster runners than I am, so I already have it in the back of my head. I have to do something that they're not going to do, and wouldn't you know it, we have a canal, we have a boat, we have a chime. The first floor is very attainable. Second floor, dicey, but maybe doable with 2 thieves to run. I think that's where I head. After the Crescent Lake check, of course.
I think I might go the other direction, as we see Sahags with Lit giving Fizzle a fun time on the sea. I think I might go the other direction and do something a little crazy, like go to Earth. See if we can't put that mage staff to use and find a low barrier of entry grind tile to at least get to like level 10 or something.
That's not a bad idea. In my race against, I think it was Avos, after hearing Caleb so many times saying Earth it's not required, but it's required, I went and checked, and it was the first chest that had the loose item. So it's a convenient check. You've got trap tiles to check. I don't know that I'd go any further than the first floor with these levels, but the first floor for sure.
Okay, so Melman playing out nicely for us, gives us gold bracelets, and they're not very expensive, so that's going to be some real armor for our party.
Yeah, we're kind of set already for armor for a long time.
Fizzle not picking up the silver axes, though. Not the greatest of weapons, sure, but he has plenty of money, so that would certainly be a much better thing to use. Tarnin also passing on the silver axes. So
I want to point out real quick. Oh, go ahead.
Maybe part of the spice is that they're not allowed to buy anything beyond, like, the vanilla Canaria Provoca weapon shops. Maybe they have to use things that they find.
Could be. Maybe they can only use something that's purchased in a shop, but if that were the case, I think those silver axes would have been purchased. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, though. I'll tell you this much. I'm in the spring tournament because I lost an Iron Goal race to Caleb. And the reason that I lost that Iron Goal race to Caleb was because I didn't check 3 chests in Northwest Castle, and it happened to have a loose floater. Both of our runners skipped checking Northwest Castle here.
They have, but it looks like Tarnin's going to stop at the South Dock by Elfland, so maybe his plan here is to check Elfland Castle into Northwest.
Fizzle killing off a character?
Yeah, Fizzle looks committed to this 2-man. I
Remind
don't
me
know.
which one of them had 2 forfeits in practice?
That would also be Fizzle, yes. So down he goes. There goes one fighter. And I'm not sure this is the fight that I would have... Okay, we have enough armor now that scorpions and bulls aren't going to do real damage to us. So this makes more sense why he chose this fight to actually tan his character.
Yeah, Golden Pro Ring really sets you up nicely for dives into Volcano now. Well, once we get the canoe. Just some of these further dives. Yeah, maybe I do kind of venture a little bit deeper into Earth Cave now. But I still like the Sky play. I like Sky 1 at the very least. It's a little bit out of the way. It is a gamble, but if it pays off, it's something your opponent's probably not going to do.
So... Oh, well, now we've got a cube.
Speaking of Sky...
Interesting. I was just going to make the comment, we've already seen Loose Canal and Loose Bottle, which means we only have one more loose item. So the likelihood that it was in Mirage is low, but now we have a cube. And now the wheels are turning. I don't think that we're high enough levels to appropriately try and tackle Sky, but if vampires rolled low HP, that mage staff can make quick work of them.
Vampire mummies. If mummies happen to be the first encounter off power reset going into Mirage, we're fine. We're more than fine. As long as they don't have anything.
Honestly, I might be revoking my previous statement. Okay, it's a canoe, so now we have more options, and now it is potentially just coincidental that we have full access to Sky. But at this point, we're a rod and an oxyel away from being able to open any box in the game. Still obviously need a couple more items for Go Mode, like actually just the loot. We're 3 items from Go Mode? What?
Yeah. Well, there was Tarnin that purchased the cube, right?
Fizzle's the one that's seen the cube. Tarnin's now coming over to Crescent. He'll see the cube as well.
So yeah, cube. We just need rod, oxyel, and loot for Go Mode.
Interesting. It
We've
would
got
be
plenty of incentive places left to check, so...
It would be particularly strange if we have a, semi-jet seed for, this level of Spice Party. I'm not sure how Tarnin and Fizzle would handle that. So Tarnin's gonna get his canal. Canoe.
He's already got the canal. Let's get in the canoe.
Yeah. It's one of those C-name key item things.
Mm-hmm. Is Fizzle making his way towards Ordeals? Or is this... Nope. I don't think we've seen Elfland Castle checked yet, have we?
We have not. I thought Tarnin was going to check it when he was at Elfland, but he didn't. Also, I think Tarnin might be looking for some giants or something to pick up that cube. He was a little bit short on gold.
We've been given 100,000 gold so far, and he's already out of it.
I mean, Tarnin does like to shop. He does like to purchase that gear that's going to get him going a little bit faster. This time it kind of backfired just a little bit. And
missed what caused Fizzle to reset there. What happened to Fizzle? We'll have to see.
Sure.
I think it was this fight on the sea and his inability to get through it with just that mage staff, because it's unrunnable.
Yeah, maybe they lit down his thief too quickly. Or maybe he was stun locked with the dazzle.
Either way, we've got some route divergence at least. It looks like Tarnin's going Volcano.
Curious. I mean, there's a lot of chests in Volcano, so if this is just an armory check, I think it makes a lot of sense. Okay, we are getting confirmation in chat. It was being sun-locked. That's what caused him to reset.
Probably going to butcher this name in chat. Signporf asking how classes are determined in the tournament. It's usually race by race, just determined between the runners. In this case, it was agreed upon between the two that they were going to do double fighter, double thief, but we can do open parties. There's various different ways to draft parties. It's all how you and your opponent decide you want to do it.
Okay, so Tarnin is checking the volcano. He's on the second floor, the armory floor, but he's checking some of the more out-of-the-way chests before checking the armory proper.
I don't hate this, because if it's nothing good, you just reset out and save your encounters, but...
Yeah, but he's taking fights, which leads me to believe he's not going to reset out. Unless that was just unrunnable. But Tarnin is one of our runners that is known for taking almost every fight that is presented to him. He loves his XP. And particularly the first fight of any encounter group that he sees, to find out whether or not they're capable of being killed quickly. And it looks like he is going to run from this the second time.
Yeah, when you see the cremate come out, I think it's time to run. You don't have any ribbons yet. Did he check hairpin chests, or is that a gamble to skip? I didn't see if he actually went left or not.
He did not do hairpin left. Tarnin hates hairpin left, and I do not blame him, because it is one check is a whole lot of extra steps for that one check, and it has a trap tile in front of it, which all of that, particularly with a party like this, I'll pass, thanks.
You say that until the game decides to put our third loose just sitting there, or the second loose sitting there. 'Cause
I know, it's happened. It's happened a number of times, and particularly the number of times we've seen a required loose item there, be it the rod or the cube, is statistically improbable. I'll put it that way.
So I like this play from Fizzle. I hate this fight that he's in. It's the worst enemy in the game. But he's going to get a 2 trap tile chests, or checks here, that, well, 3 potentially if you really wanted to. But more importantly, a couple chests and a guaranteed key item. And if this turns out to be like, say, the floater, it opens up the entire world to him. I think I like this better than Volcano right now, or at least if Tarnin's only doing Armory, then I'm okay with it. I don't want to go any further than the first or the second floor here.
I am slightly concerned by how many fights Fizzle's actually going to be able to take. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, we're fine.
This
we're
is
fine.
probably a wipe.
No, we're fine. The stun's not very fun.
You say that.
No, we're fine.
You
it's
say
unrunnable.
that.
Oh, it's unrunnable.
Right, the
I don't
fact
like
that it
it.
was unrunnable is why I said it was a wipe.
It was wishful thinking. I was trying to put out positive vibes.
Alright, so Tarnin is going to take his armory spoils and save. We'll see what he does after this.
Not to mention the couple fights
Looks
he
like he
took.
might
He
be
was able
going
to
back
get that out. Burning encounters? Yeah, we're burning encounters and we're going further in. Boy, do I not like this move, because as of right now, we have no way of killing anything quickly. Let alone the fiend that's here.
We're definitely not killing carry with our current level of equipment. As far as checking chests, it's not bad. You can get these chest checks pretty quickly, and if the trap tiles are cooperative, we could get the incentive here. I don't like having to run it out, but...
And that's the problem. What if the incentive is something really, really awesome? You're then forced to run all the way back out, and that's going to be kind of an event in and of itself. You start to kind of tunnel vision yourself where you're like, okay, I've seen that great item, I must get that great item out, and maybe you should kind of focus your attention elsewhere for the time being.
Len the Cat in chat pointing out that you can kill carry with about 15 uses of the Mage Staff. I'd have to check your math on that, but given that the Mage Staff is going to do about 20 to 30 damage, I think it's going to take more than 15.
Another unrunnable fight for Fizzle, but this one plays in his favor if they didn't have a way to stun, like Dazzle and all that.
Yeah, we're seeing so many stuns already. We've seen stun, we've seen dazzle multiple times. This is not the friendliest enemy layout that we've been seeing so far.
Hey, let's throw a fourth pillar in there, just to make things worse.
I mean, at least he's out of the pillar maze now. He now knows the route.
Look at this gear just
Tarnin-
building up. Aegis, Dragon Armor, Tarnin's set. As soon as promotion happens.
He is very full on equipment. He is picking up everything. He's either picked up everything or bought everything.
Hey,
Oh, that's a
more
flame
shields.
shield. I'll take that.
It's going to be interesting to know that we're kind of in a... I wouldn't say it's a pure jet seed, because it's not. But it's a quick seed, and boy, are we getting really everything we wanted. And yet, because the twist that's coming that we still don't know about, there's a defense sword, by the way, this is going to probably take anywhere from 2 to 2.5 hours at best. And that seems a little weird.
I don't know if Tarnin sees like the floater down here, which like, you know, it's not going to be common, but it's a chance that it's here. That gets him in the air pretty quickly. If we find a tail shortly after that, then maybe we're really talking about like a pretty good time considering this party comp.
Yeah, I don't think the party comp is anything bad at all, especially since this northwest room in Volcano was basically a ninja starting kit. It had flame shield, ice armor, and the defense sword.
Yeah,
so I
that's
get the feeling
really
the
gonna
twist
help
is
in
what's
the
going to
endgame.
throw us off, because it's not the armor and it's not the party. Gargoyles.
They are not the most fun enemies, and by not the most fun enemies, I mean get them out of my sight every time I see them.
Oh look, white shirt. Man, Volcano is paying off.
Yeah, this is extremely generous.
I mean, at this point, Maz is on this floor too, right? Vorpal.
Yeah, Maz Excal
Right
in the
after?
top right chest here.
And then let's do Vorpal Ribbon on the Agma trap tiles, and then let's go with Floater on Carrie's floor.
And Fizzle gets a ruby. That's not the worst thing to find here. That's 2 more incentive items. But 4 red Ds is bad news. He does get away though. Okay. So he gets to save his progress.
That's a good pickup. It puts him back in the area of Northwest Castle, which I really hope he checks, because you just know something's there. But he now gets the 2 key item turn-ins, or checks, from that ruby. Meanwhile, Tarnin is finding all the gear in the world. There's opal armor.
So we have so much gear that we can't possibly even hold it all. We really want that tail. I think if I'm Tarnin, I'm really hoping that Volcano incentive is floater and Sarda gives me the tail, and I can just go promote and get this gear on.
Fizzle, why are you going to Onrak? You don't have Oxyale, and we've already seen the key item.
So, I think Fizzle's thinking here is he's going to revive his dead thief, he's going to go to Waterfall, and then he's going to go turn in the ruby. I don't know that I agree with it, but I think that's his plan since he's in the area of Onrak Continent anyway.
Is Fizzle part of Team Floaters Always in Waterfall?
There's a team Floaters Always in Waterfall, because this is the first I'm hearing of it.
There's a Team Floaters Always in Waterfall. Edge and Elastoid are always arguing back and forth about it. I think Edge is the main proponent of Waterfall. Good, go check.
Okay, so there's our tail. So that's half the promotion battle for Tarnin. Just needs to get the floater now.
Tail is a great find, Len the Cat. Also, welcome, Len the Cat. But we really can't do anything with it yet, and that feels kind of bad.
Okay, so Tarnin is correctly running all of this out. We could get evasion on carry 1, but it's not a good likelihood. Ooh, that was a wipe in Waterfall. I did not see what those Paralisks had.
They had stone.
Oh, cool.
Tarnin getting called a coward in chat because he didn't want to take on carry with, I believe we're swinging...
I think we have a silver sword. No, I think we have a silver sword. I don't think we have two. I think we have one. I think the other one's a giant sword.
Yeah, probably. The fact that Carrie can have Blaze alone is enough for me to be like, nah, I'm good. I don't have any ribbons.
You know, any number of things: Blaze, Thunder, Damage, Poison. You know, the works.
Anything that could wipe this party and cause you have to redive. And the sad part is that I think every room in Volcano paid out. So if you have to come back in, you're having to do every check again.
Right, because he didn't find just, you know, a good item or two. It was like everything was good.
Why aren't we healing the thief? There we go. 1 HP is a little bit dicey. Oh, no, we are not. Is Tarnin getting rid of his thieves? Because if he is, I don't know that I agree with that right now.
I don't think he is. I think he's banking on things targeting his front two rows as opposed to his back row. Which, you know, it's more likely, but... Oh, hey, speaking of Oxiel, turns out that you can one-shot the Onrak continent just by going to Waterfall.
That was a gamble. I have to imagine he was hoping for that or floater, and well, he got that. So, mermaids? Is Fizzle a mermaid diver? I know Tarnin likes to go visit the ladies.
I don't think with this level of gear, Tarnin or Fizzle dives mermaids.
I don't know. I feel pretty good about pro-ring in gold and making a beeline straight towards him. It's the second floor that I really don't want to check right now, but we can just fly right through that, hopefully. Well, for one, he's got to get out of Waterfall first. We don't have exit or warp, so we're not even... Oh, hey, look, it's our friends at Stone.
Gotta love that stone poison. Too bad we're not promoted and can equip that Aegis shield.
Right.
Oh, wait. Did Fizzle get that yet? I don't... Is that one of the things that Tarnin found in... No, that was in Dwarves? I don't remember.
It was somewhere.
There's so much good equipment already.
It was somewhere. It was in Armory.
Tarnin has his cube now.
Here. You know, I don't know that I wouldn't go straight to ice right now if I were Tarnin. The defense sword, the white shirt, you've got gold and pearl rings.
Yeah, and that mage staff. It's not a crazy play here. And it looks like Tarnin agrees.
Getting off some encounters. Hey, Rydia007. Welcome everybody. That's my sister in chat. Fizzle halfway through, rounding the corner, slapping the bat on the butt on the way out.
Okay, so Tarnin thought about going to Ice Cave, and now I guess is deciding against it. So we'll see what he does next. Fizzle, meanwhile, trying to get out of this waterfall, is steps away and gets to save his progress. Okay, so now we'll see what Fizzle does here. He is Team Speed and Power, but I don't know that Speed and Power is going to get you through the Sea Shrine here. And I think based on his steps, he agrees.
Yeah, it feels bad leaving and having to come back here. He certainly wasn't going to get Sea Shrine done, so it's not all that bad. I don't know, though. It feels like he made the gamble to do Waterfall in hopes that he would get Oxiel, but I guess now it was clear he was hoping for Floater. With another loose on the table, I wouldn't have been surprised had he checked Mermaids, but we'll see where he goes next. That Ruby turn in with 2 on the table, probably looking a little bit better to him.
Yeah, I think that's what you have to do in Fizzle's shoes. You turn in that Ruby and you see where you go from there. Tarnin, meanwhile, is headed towards Ordeals, so he's going to get his Ruby. And we'll see if he routes the same way as Fizzle, or if he does something different after this.
Shadow, if we've seen it, I certainly don't know what the twist is. I haven't spotted it yet. Things are looking really good, actually, all things considered. It looks like we're allowed to equip whatever we want to equip. We don't have any sort of Danning agreement that it looks like. I haven't spotted anything that is super spicy yet.
Yeah, I feel like there's something that they think was obvious that is more subtle than they realize, because so far it just looks like kind of standard play. I mean, we haven't been buying like good weapons, but other than that, I haven't seen anything crazy. Looks like those Sahags were a little bit more dangerous than we first realized as well. Not only did they have Lit, but they also have Lit too. Fortunately, Fizzle had the levels to be able to get away from the fight, though. And he's on his way to go turn in that ruby. Meanwhile, Tarnin on his way to get the ruby.
Yeah, Wappy, I don't think we've seen it yet because, and that was my question in SRL before this was, you know, I'm concerned I'm not going to spot it when we see it. And they said, oh, you'll see it. You'll try. You might not get it when we first do it, but you'll eventually catch it. So whatever it is, it's going to happen multiple times. We have no idea what it is.
Alright, so time for that Titan's incentive. And it is the floater. Okay, so Ordeals is definitely the play here. I think with finding floater, do you even bother checking Sarda while you're here, or do you just go get your airship and check him with the boat?
I get in the air. Check it with the... It's just a complete waste of time to do it any other way.
And it looks like Fizzle agrees with that mentality, so he's going to go get his airboat.
Tarnin, I don't see Tarnin doing Waterfall next. I see Tarnin getting that ruby and going, oh look, 2 free items, and making it straight towards Sarda, or towards the Turnins here. And I think that's going to catch him up a little bit, because right now, yes, Tarnin did go into Volcano and he got a lot of great gear, and that's really, really awesome, but Fizzle's levels look amazing. And he's already knocked out one of the incentivized locations.
Well, I think particularly with Tarnin having the tail already, he has even more reason to really, really want that floater ASAP. And 2 checks in the same time that you could do 1 check in Ordeals seems much more beneficial to me.
Tarnin gets the bad news that it's a 4th pillar seed. I think he'll get it this time through. Fizzle making his way over to the Rayacon Desert's going to get his float boat. We're going to be in the air in no time, and hopefully he remembers that he didn't check Sarda. I think that was a very deliberate decision there, but we've seen stranger things.
So we're actually so close to go mode now. We just need a rod, we just need a loot. Obviously Fizzle's going to want that tail, but I have to think, if I'm in Tarnin's shoes, particularly having already seen the tail, already seeing as much good equipment as I have, you have to feel really good about this seed so far.
Crystal. Okay. So we're going to route ourselves back over to Matoya. I would imagine there's really no way around it. We're probably going to get sent down a fetch quest chain. But we still haven't checked Northwest Castle, and there's some trap tiles there. How do you feel about checking that while we're in the area with the airship?
I think if I'm Fizzle, I check it sooner rather than later. If I'm Tarnin, I check it after promotion. 100%.
Yes. Hey, look. That seems vanilla.
Alright, so we're doing some fetch quests. I think Fizzle probably needs to do a good portion of these fetch quests, I think, now. Turn in this herb, go translate your slab, do bottle and slab while you're both in the area of the northern continent. But Fizzle's really close to go mode, and with as many fetch quest turns as he can do, he might completely skip Ordeals. Well, now we have the crowns. Now we have even more reason to go check those trap tiles and chests.
That was and again, there could be nothing in those 3 chests. I mean, like you said, we're already so close to go mode, but in my recent experience, the 3 or 2 or 1 chests that you do skip just seem to always be the ones that are the ones that you shouldn't be skipping. So,
well, there's a power bomb. We definitely want that.
Yeah, we're taking this fight.
This fight might take a little while. We're on Mage Staff strats, so you know, get some popcorn. This is going to be a long Astos fight.
Maybe not. We're getting pretty good swings there with that silver sword.
Okay, Fizzle getting decent luck with the evasion there. Normally
we're not-
Astos is pretty evasive.
Are we going back in? Yeah, we're going back in. We're checking key locks. Good. Good, good, good. All right, so we know that it's not the agreement to not use the power gauntlet.
Yeah, I mean, with this party, you basically are going to need the power bonk defense, so I didn't suspect that that was the agreement. Tarnin getting roughed up by Glare on the Sorcerers, just not having a good time with it.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. We're also seeing trap tiles get checked, so that was kind of one of the things I was thinking. Maybe they made a decision that you're not allowed to grind anywhere. You just go in with whatever levels you have.
Deep in the pool, Sorcerers with Blaze. These Sorcerers are just not letting our runners have a good time. Tarnin does get through. He's on his 4th pillar, trying to get out of here.
Where is Fizzle going? Oh, are we... No, it's got to be the slab turn-in, right?
Got to be Bottle and Slab, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking maybe he's going straight to Sky, and that's awesome. I love that. But no, this makes much more sense. We really don't even need to check the armor shops anymore either. We know where gold and pro rings are, and that's all we really care about.
Right. And particularly in Tarnin shoes, like, his equipment is so good that there's nothing that a shop is going to give him that he wants.
Yeah, these sags are going to be a problem, though. You said they had Lit 2 coming up, and all we have is a mage staff and a stun fighter. I don't hate that opal bracelet.
I don't hate it, but it is pushing us more towards the likelihood that the loose is required. The only Zonk that we have left is the Thor Hammer. So if this slab turn-in gets us a Thor Hammer, we're looking for loose.
So right about now, everyone in chat needs to be hoping that we see a Thor Hammer. So more gear. That opal brace, yeah, with pro rings, I guess you really don't need the opal brace or the opal gauntlet there, but
right,
just
it's same
continue
absorb,
to
but death resist.
Pile on the fact that Tarnin's finding all the gear in the world. Oh, beautiful routing from Fizzlebeef there. A lot of people still don't realize that it's a free tile to step in and out of a river tile, and he makes perfect use of that lake there, stepping in and then out, which is free, stepping in, out, is free. It's only 2 steps that you're saving yourself. But
4, actually.
4,
right?
yeah, I'm sorry, 4. But those 4 matter if it means getting an encounter versus not getting an encounter.
Yep. And it looked like something wiped him on the way down, so he's going to have to try again. Alright, Tarnin, proving us wrong, is going to route in Waterfall while he's in the area, so he's going to get his Oxyel. So he's going to be following Fizzle's routing, but he's got a couple other things to do once he's got the floater.
Yeah. Well, the problem here is that I've seen Tarnin on multiple races throughout the years. He's a fan of mermaids. He likes to go visit the ladies. He likes to see what they have. He's about to find the Oxale. The longer it takes him to get over to that Ruby turn-in, the more Fizzle starts to grow this lead. But, like we said earlier, Fizzle ran 2 practices, forfeited both, so we don't know what the twist is. Tarnin at least finished both of his, so...
I don't know that I would call it a Fizzle lead at this point. Him being in the air is a huge advantage. Don't get me wrong. Tarnin has so much gear, though, that the second that he is in the air, his party is going to get so much stronger.
I think if I were to call anything, I would say it's a Fizzle lead that is super quickly made up by Tarnin the second Tarnin's in the air. So it's not like an insurmountable lead. It is like a variable lead at the moment.
Yeah, I think what I would say is if Tarnin takes the time to go into C while he's here, then I would call it a slight lead Fizzle.
Oh yeah.
If Tarnin skips that, then I think the game is neck and neck.
I would even venture to say if Tarnin leaves here and goes straight towards the floater turn-in, because of everything he dug out of Volcano, maybe slight edge towards Tarnin at that point. Fizzle, why are you back here? We've checked this already. There we go.
He forgot. Oh boy. Oh boy.
So that's what we're hoping for.
So our loose is required. That was a long fetch quest that Fizzle just did. All of those fetch quests actually just gave nothing. So we know that Ice Cave is going to have either our loot or our rod, and our other one is loose.
Let's kind of walk back that nothing there. We got a lot of bonus XP. That feels good. We really like the opal bracelet. And are you turning down a Thor hammer with this party?
Sure. You're right. Not that he got nothing. There was a lot of not required
non-progression. Yeah. Hey, Speed Gaming 6 with rating party of 18. Welcome to Fizzlebeef versus Tarnin. This is week 5 of the spring tournament of 2020. Two best friends battling it out. There is some spiciness that has yet to have been determined. We know it's in here somewhere. They've told us to expect it. We just don't know what it is yet. But buckle up, because they said when we see it, we'll know it. So.
Yep, this is a battle of 3-1. So one of these runners is going to advance to be 4-1, and one is going to go to 3-2. One of which is going to be guaranteed at least a spot in the play-in or better. The other is going to have a spot at last chance qualifier or better. It takes 4 wins to guarantee at least play-in race. And 5 or more guarantees you a spot in brackets, so...
Anything you can do to avoid that last chance qualifier, do it. Because that's going to be rough. I don't know the exact number of runners that are going to be in it, but I do know that only one person comes out alive. So you really don't want to have to rely on that to get you into brackets, or to get you into the play-in race to get you into brackets.
Fizzle making the play at Ice Cave, so he is going to be a little bit longer away from his promotion. But we are going to get to know which of our progression items is here. Is it the rod? Is it the loot? If it's the rod, then literally the loot can be in any box pre-Topher.
Mind the Ice Cave. It's a little unfortunate because obviously we have the benefit of knowing that Volcano is just so juicy at the moment. But we also know that Mazza wasn't in Volcano, and if it happens to be here in Ice, then Fizzle likely clears all of Volcano in one go, and that's going to feel really good if he can do that.
Yep, we'll have to see what he gets here. There's still a lot of boxes in the game, and a lot of places that Mazza could be. He does have a Sun Sword, though, now. And with a 2-man party, he probably will have the levels that he could reasonably do a carry dive with defense white shirt, particularly if he finds a rib.
Oh, yeah, now that you point that out, not only will he have defense white shirt, Sun Sword, he also has Power Bonk. Carry is very much on the table right now for him.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so in Fizzle's shoes, we can definitely one-shot Volcano, which means he is going to make up a little bit of time on Tarnin, because Tarnin had to run out that tail and all that juicy gear. Fizzle does also have the advantage of knowing that... Well, I guess he doesn't know 100% yet. Because in his mind, tail could be loose, although I bet with this party he considers tail required. But aside from tail, Fizzle knows that it's very, very, very likely he needs to get the loose required item.
So what does Tarnin do? He's got the Ox Ale. Could go visit the mermaids. We've seen him do it before. Really needs to go to Titan's Trove. We know that's where the floater is in the incentivized location. Oh, no.
Don't do it, Tarnin.
Oh, yeah, he heard you. No, he's burning in
counters. No, don't do it! Don't do it! Well, it's not all bad news. There's a lot of chests on Mermaid's side. If the loose item is on Mermaid's side, that's huge for Tarnin.
It is, but there's one encounter in C that you are guaranteed to not be able to run from, and all Tarnin has to throw at it is a mage staff.
Yep. That sure is an encounter we don't want to see if we're Tarnin.
Not beelining it straight towards the ladies. He's going to check some of the closer... I guess they'd be considered greed chests. If you're not checking the rest of the floor, it's not too far out of the way. Oh look, more lit too.
So Fizzle seems to have found himself some rock goals, and he's trying to take them down. His fighter is dangerously low HP, though. Does get the damage out in time.
Look at the juicy XP for the two-man party. I don't know that I'm grinding that just yet, but he's able to survive it, and I don't think he was even healed up when he went into it and he survived. That's almost 10k a pop.
Yeah, that's a lot of XP. On the flip side, he's not promoted.
Yeah.
And I don't know that he wants the levels now. Because we are assuming that magic is on the table. And if magic is on the table, we want spell charges.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're doing a grind, we want it to be post-promotion.
Hey, katana pickup for Fizzle there, and for Tarnin. So they both have the weapon that they were looking for the thief. I was just about to say, you're really expecting that if Tarnin doesn't get like something of the like a ribbon quality piece of gear, he's probably just going to reset out of mermaids here. I can't think of anything other than like Maza, maybe Vorpal, ribbon, katana I guess would qualify, but other than that, I would be very shocked if we don't see a quick reset here.
I think that Tarnin will want to keep that katana. If it weren't for the katana, I would absolutely agree. You do a reset and you get out. But that katana is going to do so much damage on a ninja.
Problem is, there's two of them in the game versus how much time you save not having to walk this out. I mean, it's a choice. It's not an easy one.
Yeah, it's not something you can say like 100%, but I think in Tarnin's shoes, knowing the way that he plays, I think that he will take that every time.
Mm-hmm. So we're about to find out, A, what's on the eye trap tile, not fun. B, what's the incentive locate? Alright, it's Rod.
It is the Rod, so loot could be absolutely anywhere pre-Topher.
You know, it's 2020. You'd think we'd be past loot boxes by now. We're not.
Man, I know. So rude.
Speed Gaming 5 with a rate of 42. Thank you and welcome to the race.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We're in the middle of a fast seed for the party that we've got. We've got an all melee party, no magic on the table. Once we promote, we might see some spells, but until then, no magic available for us. And Fizzle is just getting pounded by these wolves.
He's going to want to go ahead and grab a Snickers, because I don't think he's going anywhere for a while.
It's death of 1,000 cuts. They're not punching him for a whole lot of damage, but they just keep punching him.
Hey, Raint Demon, no. It cannot be anywhere in TOFR at all. The logic will have to put it somewhere outside of there. Mainly because the devs in their infinite wisdom realized that wouldn't it feel horrible if you went and checked everywhere else in the world for the key item needed before going into Topher? Because why would you go in if you don't have it? So no, not within the logic. Can't happen.
Alright, we've got Sleuth Danny on the case. Points out that we have not seen the adamant yet, so it's going to be a loose adamant that turns into.
Well, good. I'm all for getting rid of loot boxes. Also, that is going to be one finely crafted loot if it's made from the dwarves using the finest of adamant. A bit heavy, I think, but...
Hold on. Fizzle seems to have some characters up. Was this play at two-man early game to ensure that he has spell casting? Was that the like brilliant move that we weren't predicting?
It seems that way. I think whether he intended to do that going in or has just made the decision now, his levels on his fighter are phenomenal for the 52-minute mark. And he's probably only going to take more fights from here, so I don't think he's of any concern that he's going to hit 24. So why not bring up the other guys? It's not going to prevent him from hitting 24, and it's going to get the spell charges like you talked about. It's a great move.
Yeah, so a lot of foresight coming from Fizzlebeef. A move that we didn't expect. We thought he was just going to two-man. Proving us wrong after all this time. But he still doesn't have the tail, so he's got to go do Volcano to get that first. Which I'm sure is his next play anyway.
Spirit Fox in chat. Not a draft so much as just a agreed upon party. They just decided fighter, fighter, thief, thief. Let's do that.
Okay, so looks like Tarnin did only do Mermaid side, didn't do Kraken side, so he's not going to lose more time. He's going to go get his floater, and he's going to get in the air. Meanwhile, Fizzle's going to do all of Volcano. So this is kind of retreading ground that the other has done. So we'll see after the two are finished retracing the other steps who comes out on top. Maybe a slight advantage Fizzle because he'll be able to kill Carry while he's in the area.
Oh yeah. I think it's Fizzle for sure. He's already gone down all the long fetch quests. He's already done Ice Cave. He's going to one-shot Volcano, hopefully. And boy, if the Adamant is loose in this hairpin chest, you can... It's still too early to call, but would have been a huge advantage.
Just some gold in the chest that Tarnin skipped. But I mean, even aside from the loose, it could have been a ribbon, it could have been Mazza, it could have been Forpole. There's a number of good items that could have been, but in this case, just some gold. Tarnin is not going to miss that at all.
Tarnin opting to go ahead and walk his way to Sarda, and I think we both kind of agreed that we probably would have gotten the airship first like Fizzle did, but it's not too much of a time waste.
Yeah, I think it's really 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I think it loses maybe 20, 30 seconds, but not a big deal. Yeah, the time where you lose more time is when you get these encounters.
So I think Fizzle bringing up those other two characters pretty much solidifies the idea that he's taking on Carry, if only to have the extra meat shields. But I think you nailed it. I think it was also a kind of a power play of like, hey, you know what? Now I'm not going to have to worry about missing out on spell charges on these guys because I let them, sleep for as long as I did.
Yeah, it's actually some incredibly insightful play. It was a move that I hadn't considered doing. I really like it.
Right, Tarnin saving up. It's got to be just a mad dash to the Raycon Desert right now for Tarnin. Is he going the slower way? Don't go right, Tarnin. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. We're going the right way. Yeah, so it is very slightly faster to go west here instead of going east. It's not a huge amount of difference, but it is faster.
It's on the sea either way, and encounters are obviously less frequent. But, I mean, it's just the fact of the matter is it's faster to go left, so why not go left?
Yep. Alright, so Tarnin at, call it the 56:35-minute mark, gets his airship.
Okay.
So,
Fizzle has the levels to... Yeah, no, he's certainly going to catch up pretty quickly. I think the only thing that's got him behind is the fact that he had to walk it out of Volcano. That's really about it. Yes, the Mermaid's Dive took a little bit of time, not too much. But he got the katana. He'll end up getting a second one and probably kicking himself when he goes to ice, but...
I don't think Tarnin would snub having two katanas. I think he'd be quite happy about that, actually. Tarnin says, I've got two ninjas, I'll use them.
And we're in the air, so it's immediate move over to class change.
White Testatel, thank you for the raid of Party of 4. Thanks for joining us. We've got Fizzlebeef and Tarnin going against each other in the Week 5 of the Swiss Spring Tournament 2020. Battle of 3-1s. One of these runners looking to go 4-1 and try and cement themselves into brackets.
Yeah, welcome, Dwight. It's been a while. It's Bears beats Battlestar Galactica, Battle of Best Friends, Tarnin vs. Fizzlebeef, Week 5 of the Spring Tournament 2020. Glad you could join us. Tarnin is, well, now he gets to play the juggling game of all this gear, where to put.
Yeah, I think he's doing the right thing here. You put all the resist gear on the front fighter. Make sure all those single target spells, the bracks, the squints, whatnot, are going to target him. And yeah,
just look at that. An hour in, class changed, almost all the armor. I mean, short of ribbons, and maybe kind of the inverse of the flame armor and the ice shield, if we can get the flame shield and the ice armor for the other ninja. And just a ribbon or maybe two, I think we're looking, I mean, we're great, right? We're almost to the point to where we don't even need to check chest for gear anymore. You're certainly hoping for like Mazza or Vorpal, and we know that we still have a loose on the table that is required, so we're going to keep checking. But once we get that loose item, maybe we don't check anymore. Maybe our gear is looking pretty good.
I do think it is somewhat surprising that we're an hour in and all the boxes that we've checked, we have not seen a ribbon yet. That's a little bit crazy. I have to wonder if Marsh is just sitting on like 2 ribbons down at the bottom of it.
I dream of the day that all 3 ribbons are carry 2 and beyond.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a possibility. Those Topher chests do have gear a decent number of times.
Where are we going on Tarnin's screen?
I believe he's just checking the cardia checks. Just getting ambushed by these cats on the way.
Yeah, Will Bloodworth joining us. We pointed out this was the exact same party Will Bloodworth used in his last race, and to great effect. And not surprising to see Tarnin roll with Fighter Thief. In the past 2 years that I've raced him, we've just done Fighter Thief None, so he's a fan of both the classes. For those that are just joining us, we've been promised that there's some sort of spicy twist, and that when we see it, we'll know it. Shadow, I don't think we've seen it yet, because I sure don't know it.
Yeah, I'm still on the edge of my seat. We were promised spice, but this looks kind of standard for an all melee party. I don't see anything too wild.
Yeah, this has been nice. You rolled this, right?
I did, which means that like this is the nicest seat that I've rolled in a long time, because whenever I roll a seat for myself, it's hot garbage. It sucks.
Yeah, right? Delusions. So we don't know yet, obviously. But we have seen them check the spell shops, and we know that in practices they talked about, missing out or not being able to buy fast. It was just out of the reach. So we kind of have an idea that we're probably going to see magic here. And I just don't know that that's enough of spiciness to appease us, because this is Tarnin and Fizzle we're talking about. Trash Island Fire Department co-founding members. When they say something's going to be spicy, it's going to be spicy. It's not going to be just like, lol, no magic. They're going to give us something. I just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, I wonder if the spice was just supposed to be that they weren't allowed to buy good weapons, but like they found equipment too fast that it didn't matter. So yeah. I don't know. We'll have to double check with them what the big secret was, because I don't know. I just don't know.
So, Opal Bracelet for Tarnin feels really good. That's exactly what Fizzle was looking for. He wants to promote. I think that does now give him the information that, oh boy, that other loose is required.
Yeah, which, not gonna feel the greatest, but at least he's got the tail. He's gonna be very happy that he doesn't have to go about this unpromoted. They took the seed inside of the Melman treasures? I don't think so. Their gear's been too good for Melman.
Yeah, it's been too good. That and the fact that me and Gouda just tried to do 4-force and got yelled at for adjusting flags. So I really don't think that's it. But that would have been funny. And TNT.
I know that one thing that they have mentioned is a fear of running out of heal potions. So maybe the spice is no white magic, which still feels not super spicy considering the two that we're talking about. But
not enough. If that's it, then they're getting shamed. I demand like Trash Island Fire Department levels of craziness.
Oh, hold on. Demon Frog says, I'm telling you, Topher Fiends times 2. Now, that feels like a level of spice that maybe these two are doing. That feels like a really silly thing to do, but I love it.
Here's what I would do, right? If I'm racing Tarnin and we're coming up with the spiciest of spice, I'm doing the first fiend once, the second fiend twice, the third fiend 3 times, and the fourth fiend 4 times. I think that is Trash Island Fire Department levels of crazy.
I agree that it's Trash Island Fire Department levels of crazy. However, I think that, like, if it was going to be multiple fiends in like a 1, 2, 3, 4 order, maybe you do it the other way, like Lich 4 times, Carry 3 times, Kraken 2 times, because like Kraken 2 3 times in a row, I don't see an all melee party living through that to tell the tale.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm letting my mind wander into places where I would be entertained. I mean, I don't have to run it. They do, but yeah. Maybe it is just 2. I guess for a spring tournament race, you can only be so spicy, right? Because you got to get it done within 2-3 hours. And we'll see.
Okay, so Tarnin working on his long fetch quest. He's gonna get the bad news that this isn't a required item, but he is gonna get a Thor hammer for his troubles. So, hey, level 3 fast. We are very excited to see that.
Yeah, I think that's probably the one spell that Tarnin was looking for. Hey, we'll take Fade too, no big deal.
Okay,
and
so
Expert,
white magic is not off the table.
Tarnin, there's Expert. Go back and buy Expert. What are you doing?
He's not going to buy Expert. We know that.
But wouldn't you know it?
You have to have elemental spells for it to be useful.
No, you don't. You just need to have something like Brack or you could do Bane on Chaos, but I don't think Expert actually raises the accuracy of it at all.
I mean, Brack is technically an elemental spell. I wasn't saying that it doesn't count.
All I'm saying is, we're seeing a guy here on the left-hand side of your screen that may have lost a race last year to somebody in the commentary booth because of X for Brack. It would be just a beautiful touch to have Tarnin pull it off 2 years in a row.
So Toasted Zerling, we know that the spice isn't going to be casting exit before Chaos because that's not something that they can guarantee with running this party, that they will have exits. So look at the ninjas' spell layout. They've got Temper, they've got Saber, they've got Lock 2, they've got Nuke, they've got Fast. How did I roll something so nice for them?
Yeah, I don't know, man. If I was running this, though, that extra Brat combination, meme it up all you want. That's come in handy more than once. I'm buying it just as a safety. Sure, you don't rely on it. Sure, you do everything you can to make sure you don't need to use it.
Oh, sure. Seeing the level 1 Brack, I would totally agree that you grab Expert just in case, but I hadn't seen that before.
So we're doing a Temple of Fiends key lock chest, or check here, and if the loot, or the loose adamant is here, Galaxy Brain play from Tarnin, because there's just so many other places right now we could be checking that have much more chest checks. This could be a big one for him, because I don't know that Fizzle's gonna do this one for quite a while. Probably last on his list, if I had to guess.
Did you notice Tarnin's levels? He's promoted and all across the board level 14, 15, which means he's going to get just the best spell charges available to him.
Oh yeah, by 21 he's going to have all 4. That just well timed. I think you rolled too easy of a seed here. Whatever their twist is, it better be a good one. So where to next? I mean, we're kind of even Steven right now. If you're Fizzle, you're doing your magic purchases just like Tarnin just did. What's your next location? Where are you going?
I mean, Tarnin's still got to do Ice Cave, so we know he's going to go there next. Well, he might turn in more to these fetch quest items first, but he's got to do Ice Cave. He's going to get a required item there. After that, I think you just do Dungeon Chest Density Order. We got the Chime and the Cube so early, there's a real itch at the back of my mind telling me that other loose is in Sky. Life 2 and Invis 2 on the night? They already have Fade? What? What? I was promised Spice.
You're fired. Yeah, Life 2 on a night that also has Ruse. Yeah, Topher's not going to be all that bad. That's 8 levels of being able to revive someone at full HP. I don't care what your spice is, that kind of negates it.
Yeah, that Life 2 is... I mean, it is actually the best healing spell in the game. You can't cast it when the character's alive, but, like, that will heal for 999 HP in some situations.
Sleepy Osser in chat. Is the spice that they're going to reset and restart at the 1 hour 30 mark? If they do, I will stick around and commentate, but beers will be opened. And I'm not responsible for anything that happens after that.
I don't think that is a level of spice that we're talking about. It would be interesting. I don't know if there's a tournament ruling on it, but I mean, a kind of like Groundhog Seed, where you have a limited time to clear the seed and then you have to reset and start over. That is actually an idea that's been discussed in the past. It's a really interesting one.
The New Game Plus aspect of it, or groundhogging, where you run out of time, you just got to redo it. Great idea. Love it. It's certainly more towards Iron Goal than it is Spring Tournament, where we're kind of fortunate enough to have Speed Gaming host us, and we do only have a set amount of time before we get kicked off. I'm sure that's not it, but oh boy, do I want to see that now.
Falconic, 1v1 me Iron Goal?
I think I'm going to take a break from racing for a little bit. I owe Will Bloodworth a match, and I've already got something on the table from Ragnarok, because he seems to think that his Maz is going to do anything in a 500% seed that's clamped, so I have to show him what's up, but I'm not against it. It just might not be the quickest race that you've ever scheduled.
I wouldn't expect a quick race at that point. Tarnin gets his fetch quest out of the way. Fizzle looking for a grind tile. He wants some EXP. He wants to get some spells flowing on those lower level characters of his. Tarnin, meanwhile, also wants some XP. He's also going to look for that grind tile.
Hey there, high five me in Earth. Let's find out if our loose is here. Talking smack. Yeah, I'm talking smack, Ragnarok. So we found an ice sword. We don't care about the ice sword. That's a reset out from Fizzle. Tarnin probably also going to reset. I don't know that the ice sword's enough for him.
Yeah, I mean, at this point he's got... Well, he hasn't done Ice Cave, so he hasn't seen Sun Sword yet. But he's got, like, defense, a katana. I don't know. He'll maybe equip it, but I don't think he'll be the most excited about it.
Nope. Resets out just like Fizzle, and is going to do the trap tile chest. For those that somehow still haven't learned or haven't seen this yet, there are 2 separate tiles that you can find here in Earth Cave. Tarnin just showed you both of them. If the first one's good, you just go up and down. If the second one's good, you go down and then up, and you get to keep doing that fight. So check them both. Both were kind of not good.
Alright, so Fizzle saw something good enough to walk out. I wasn't paying close enough attention to catch what it was.
I didn't catch it either. I would imagine it has to be a ribbon at this point for me to really care, though, right? Ribbon, Mazda, Vorpal. That's about all we've got left. Maybe Xcal, sure.
Don't know. Yeah, there's not too many good items that are like gonna really make our runners happy. And Fizzle is committed to this Earth play. I'm a little bit surprised. He is normally team Never Earth.
Mhm.
Okay, it was not good enough for Tarnin to walk out. And Tarnin is on team Never Earth and is accurately running away from her.
Yeah, I think with all of Sky on the table, that's where your chests are, that's where your levels are, you're already promoted, you have more than enough armor to not care. I would imagine it's going to be Ice Cave for the incentive, and then it's going to be Sky.
Yeah, so I think this is really going to be a tale of what Earth Cave has. If Fizzle makes these checks and comes up just total butts, then I think that Tarnin's going to like be pushed into the lead. And if Fizzle finds something good, like maybe Mazza, maybe a ribbon, then I think it's a really, really close race.
So nothing doing on Earth 2 so far. Still haven't found that that loose adamant that we know is going to turn into the loot. And as soon as our runners find it, it's go mode in possibly the freest seed you could have imagined for this party.
Yeah, we really didn't even see anything trip them up in the early game, so...
Lit 2
there was like
Sahags,
some
maybe?
lit and lit 2 Sahags, but like, really, that was about it. We didn't even wipe that many times to them. I think it was just one wipe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bat getting his way. There's some adversity. We need something.
If it was Tarnin, he'd be singing his Bat song. Fizzle's probably just grumbling.
Tarnin has a Bat song?
Move, Bat! Get out of the way! Get out of the way, Bat! Get out of the way!
Hey, cremate from Gurogers. That's fun. We've got too much health to care, but still no ribbons.
So is Fizzle gonna check? Yep, he is gonna check TFC Earth. That friendly chest just so far out. Nothing.
So, have we seen... Well, yeah, I was just about to say, maybe the spice is that they have to full clear everything everywhere, but Tarnin didn't do Hairpin and Volcano, so that kind of throws that out.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what the spice is. Other than not buying premium weapons at weapon shops, we haven't seen anything that I would even call, like, remotely spicy.
Well, now hold on. Let's not use the word premium and weapon shops in the same sentence, because there's just nothing premium about those weapons.
Okay, look, they had the opportunity to buy silver axes and they had lots of money. Those did a whole lot more damage than sabers. Just saying.
We're fighting the vampire, aka speed bump numero uno on Fizzle's side. And yeah, I think we're fully committed. We have to be at this point to a full clear of Earth. If the loose adamant is here, advantage way in Fizzle's side, because we've already seen Tarnin's not willing to check this until he has to.
Yeah, if this adamant is past the rod, then I think that is a huge advantage for Fizzle. If he still hasn't found anything, though, of, like, great import here in Earth, so this is looking like more advantage Tarnin, because Tarnin's going to probably be just about wrapped up with Ice Cave by the time that Fizzle kills Lich. Fizzle will have an orb advantage, sure, but given how many boxes we still need to open, I don't think that orb advantage is really as big as one might expect it to be.
No, not at all. Double katana now for Tarnin's ninjas feels really, really, really good.
Yeah, Tarnin's going to be able to just turn out so much damage on any enemy party that has 4 or fewer enemies. He's just going to slice them up.
You know, the longer we go without seeing, like, Mazza, Xcal, Vorpal, 3 ribbons, the more and more chests we check, the more it becomes inevitable that we're going to find them all grouped up together somewhere. And that's going to be tremendously huge for whoever finds it first.
Man, I'm telling you, Marsh has just got to be this treasure trove.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not required, but little do you know, I have everything you want.
So this was randomly generated. We know that they didn't alter the seed in some way to guarantee that everything landed in a place they agreed not to go. That's not the case. We just don't know what the spicy is yet. A lot of the kind of general ideas are that it's something in Topher, obviously. We know it's enough to have made Fizzle forfeit out of both of his practice races of it, which is hard to do. Fizzle, a fan of the garbage seeds. It's not often that you see him give up on them.
Fizzle took a long think about that flame armor before deciding to pass on it.
Well, I think with two ninjas, you cannot turn away from flame and ice armor and shields.
I'm a bit surprised that he did turn away from it, because flame armor has the same absorb as an opal bracelet. So literally it was just an upgrade. I think you trade a few points of evasion, but at this level it doesn't really matter that much.
And I'd rather have their resistances from flame and ice.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so Fizzle's going to make quick work of Lich here.
Yeah, we've got a Lich on screen. Lich is casting Ink. He's a fan of the darkness today. Does survive one round of full melees, though.
Good for you. You didn't survive two.
But, yep. He's done.
So an hour 20 in, we haven't seen Spice yet. Shadow, we're 2 orbs down, and levels and class change and gear and lions and tigers and bears and...
Yeah, I feel like Tarnin and Fizzle are going to come in and yell at us because they didn't get to do the spice, whatever it was. Oh, Tarnin pulling the trigger. Or Fizzle pulling the trigger, rather. And going to Marsh.
Fizzle, why? But why? You have Sky on the table, and you can get levels while checking chests. See, I'm talking right now in hopes that as I'm talking, making fun of him, he checks something and gets, like, Mazza, Vorpal, something really good, and makes me look stupid.
See, I think Fizzle's trying to big brain too much. I think he's thinking, okay, this seed has been far too generous, and we didn't even have to go to Marsh Cave. I'm gonna just forget logic for a minute and go to Marsh, because surely that's where I need to go.
Yeah, I mean, maybe part of the spice was you have to full clear Marsh Cave at some point, and they just found out early that it wasn't required. So maybe you come back with level. I don't know. Cheese is asking about it in chat. All we know is that they've promised us something horrible, but they would not tell us what it is. Only that when we see it, we'll know it. And I think it's safe to say we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we were told we might miss it the first time, but surely we will see it. So I don't know, because I sure haven't seen anything that I would attribute to Team Trash Island Fire Department levels of spite.
Yeah. Yeah. The leading theory right now is maybe we're doubling up on the Revisited Fiends. I'm okay with that. I think, hey, there's Mass Moon.
Well, we did call that something was going to be an Earth.
Yep. Or
a Marsh, rather. Cyan Veo in chat asking, did they decide upon a ROM beforehand? Is that allowed? A, that is not allowed. B, this was randomly generated. It was rolled right before the runners or right before the race started. So they don't know anything about this seed ahead of time. This is still playing it blind. All the normal rules for playing an FFR seed are in play here. They know something that they either have been doing or are going to do that we have not seen. Don't know what it is.
I mean, some of the obvious spice, search out Warmac, kill him, because it's not guaranteed. It's going to be RNG whether or not you find it. Something in TOFR, maybe, I think Will Bloodworth pointed out, maybe they just don't, I think it was Demrin. Somebody in chat said that you take every encounter in Topher. That's kind of good. I don't think it's quite spicy enough. Double Fiend fights, yeah, we're starting to scratch that itch a little bit more from what we expect from Trash Island Fire Department. I'm still holding out hope it's even worse than that. And I don't know how you can get worse than that, but I am.
Yeah, just don't know. But these trap tiles here in Marsh are just absolutely nothing. Fizzle's found the Masamune down here so far, but short of that, not a big payoff. Oh, there's a ribbon. Spoke too soon.
Yep. Okay, so worth. I mean, just the Mazza alone was worth, but Mazza plus ribbon on a guaranteed Life 2 caster with Dragon and Aegis. Yeah, feels pretty good.
Yeah, certainly never going to turn those down. Meanwhile, Tarnin is on his last box on Sea Shrine. We have not seen anything here.
Because if you think about it, that's just, I mean, it's like 1 in 7/8 of a ribbon that Lord Fizzlebeef has now because of that Dragon Aegis that he's able to put on with the Pro Ring on one night, the ribbon on another. Both can cast Life 2. We're kind of set now. Do you check any more boxes after you find the loose item?
I don't think so. I think if I'm Tarnin, I want to see one ribbon, but I'm not gonna go out of my way for that ribbon. If I'm Fizzle, absolutely not.
Okay, Tarnin closing in on his first Fiend.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We've seen every box except for Mirage Sky, right? Which means we're definitely looking at Lucent Sky.
Have we seen Elfland Castle yet?
Yes, it was finally checked.
Okay. Then yeah, we're surprise, surprise. We're looking for the loose item in the dungeon with the most amount of checks.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised it's taken our runners this long to go to Sky. Honestly, like, not even being sarcastic, just like, I really don't understand. Unless the reason that they've put off Sky is because they have to find a war mech. That's the only way that I could see why they've put it off this long.
Yeah, maybe it's. I mean, we had a challenge seed a long time ago where the rule was the first Fiend dungeon that you step into, you have to clear it before you go anywhere else. And as I'm saying that out loud, I realize that can't be the case because Tarnin went into Volcano, left, went to Sea. But boy, would that have been fun. Potentially game-breaking, but still fun.
Yeah, I think that Tarnin's choice of going Volcano first would not have been a thing that we saw at that point.
Probably not.
So Fizzle's going to go do Mermaid side. We know that there's not really anything down here that he's going to be happy to see. Oh, Ghosts with Thunder. Yeah. That's something that we didn't see earlier.
I would rather Ghosts throw out... Oh, that's not good. That's a reset.
Yep, sure is.
I was gonna say, I would rather Ghost throw out Thunder than hit, because they're the hardest hitting enemy in the game per hit. And Thunder, you can kind of negate it with some of your gear.
Wait, hold on. Does Thunder not or does Fizzle still not have Pro Rings for those knights? Because Toxic just killed both of those knights, and Toxic is Death Elemental.
Well, about that... Ghosts are tied 5th, she says. I thought Ghosts had the hardest hitting... Huh. I'll have to look that up.
They're behind Phantoms for sure, but I don't know exactly where they fall.
Regardless, they punch really, really hard, and I don't like them.
Oh, they sure do. I've seen Ghost crit for like 360 damage. It's,
oh, yeah.
It's terrifying.
Cheese, is that per hit? Because Ghosts often roll low hits, but hit really hard. I think maybe I'm getting my facts confused here. But either way, we're finally getting a check into Mirage.
Alright, Tarnin gonna finally go to Sky. We're gonna see what is here.
It's gonna be first floor. We could have had it this whole time.
Probably.
That's a cloth. Doesn't feel good. A little bit of money. Some more money. You know, stuff we don't need.
I mean, let's be honest. What can we find that we like actually care about here? We can find 2 ribbons. We can find the adamant.
Mm-hmm. We have 2 knights.
Ice shield?
No, sir. Vorpal. You get to have your Mazza and your Vorpal. You get your cake and your ice cream. Why not?
Oh, Excal. Excal's another thing we can see.
We
here.
don't care about Excal.
I mean, I know you don't care about Excal. Tarnin loves Excal. And given that Tarnin does not currently have a Mazza, I think he would be pretty happy with Excal Vorpal.
Oh yeah, he would. He'd love that for sure. And I think Fizzle would probably do Mazza Excal up until about. I think the common strategy is Tia 2.
Yeah, I think Excal is advantageous up through Tia 2. Tia 2 is kind of that break point where you could 50-50 either Vorpal or Excal it, and certainly Chaos, you definitely take Vorpal over Excal, not knowing its stats ahead of time.
I don't know. My spider sense is going off. Greater than less than has paid off for so many runners in the past week, 2 weeks. I think at the very least we're gonna pull a ribbon out of here.
Well, there's 10 chests, so there's still so much that we haven't seen. You know, we talked about the 2 ribbons, the Vorpal Excal, there's an ice shield out there. That something's got to be here, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's still a black shirt. There's a
Hey,
ribbon.
look, called it.
So we're at 1 ribbon each now.
What else? A little bit of money. A little bit of money. Bane sword. I'm keeping it.
We'll
I'm not
take
super
that
excited
Bane sword.
about it. That's a Hail Mary if I've ever seen one. And that's a ribbon and a Bane sword. I think you're not too upset about that.
No, you're happy you checked these. Certainly in Tarnin's shoes, not having a ribbon, he finds one here. He's happy to see that.
And again, considering we've got Dragon Armor and Aegis Shield, and we have Pro Rings, for all intents and purposes, that's Tarnin's second ribbon. Almost.
Yeah, I mean, the resist gear on the knight is so good that he basically has quote-unquote 2 ribbons.
Mm.
Not actually 2 ribbons, but quote-unquote 2 ribbons.
Enough to make you feel good about not finding the second ribbon. Like, you're not going to go out of your way to check because of it.
Right, exactly. At this point, once Tarnin sees that adamant, I am sure that he is probably going to be done checking chests.
You kind of want to see a little bit, couple more Whiz Mummies in this pack to get really excited about this fight, but it's still a good fight nonetheless. And we're going to run from it.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, Tarnin still needs some levels, but I mean, this is actually a decent trap tile for, like, quick levels.
Yeah, it's not bad. Everyone can pretty much one-round it. It's safe. It's easy. We've got a lot of bonus XP.
Yeah, I mean, you're not the most excited about 2100 XP, but, like, it's also a free trap tile as opposed to, like, having an encounter step.
Yeah.
So, it's okay. Not my favorite, but I would take it if I was, like, desperate and hadn't seen anything else.
So we're closing in. We've got 3 more floors worth of chests. I have to imagine if Tarnin doesn't find on the left-hand side, we're going past the star room. We're going to check the 3rd floor of Sky before we double back.
Tarnin likes the fights on the 2nd floor. He'll check the 2nd floor before 3rd.
Fizzle makes his way out, rezzing up, probably going to go right back in and light up that water orb. Yep.
This is a very weird situation because Fizzle actually does have a little bit of a lead here.
Mhm.
He's got to actually finish off water, but then he'll be done once he finishes Sky because that's his last dungeon. Tarnin still needs to go do Lich and Carry still, which isn't going to take him a lot of time, but it will take him some time. So I'd say Fizzle has a slight lead. We'll see what that actually looks like when the 2 of these runners get into Topher.
The benefit is Tarnin's going to find his loose here, and he's going to be able to go mode the 2 shortest dungeons, which you can knock out in 3 minutes for Volcano, 5-6 minutes for Earth. So kind of puts the needle back into his favor because he's not going to have to go out of his way to check the other stuff.
I mean, it's nice that he's going to be able to go mode Earth Cave. However, he did already full clear Volcano, so it's not really that much ground that he's making up.
Yeah, you really were hoping, if you're Tarnin, that the Marsh Cave play from Fizzle was a dud, but it wasn't. So no time lost there. In fact, the Mazza plus the ribbon probably going to make up more time than it costs to go get, potentially.
Yeah, that Mazza is going to make the Fiend kills pretty easy. With the 2 katanas, the Mazmune, Fizzle's going to have a lot of Fiend killing power.
Mm-hmm.
Tarnin just trying to clear his way through Star Floor.
So where's it
only
going
got
to be?
like 20 more boxes thereabouts.
Sure.
Gotta be in
Yeah.
one of these.
Hey, there's Xcal.
All right, so that's something that Tarnin's very happy to see.
Xcal and a house. Feels pretty good. If the key item is on the next floor, I don't think Fizzle's getting that Xcal.
No, I don't think so. I also don't think at this point that Fizzle cares if he gets that X-Cal.
Nah.
He's gonna have the Mazza on the high-level knight and, well, whatever the low-level knight has, great. Is that
a
vanilla black shirt?
Black shirt?
I think that is. I think that is actually vanilla black shirt. That's pretty hilarious, actually.
Okay, game. So a couple more checks here for Fizzle, and then it's off to Kraken for his 3rd orb. Tarnin?
Tarnin, you opened that box. You opened that box too.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion there. Maybe it was him thinking, do I really want the black shirt? In which case the answer right now is, of course not. We don't even care about the Procate. We want our adamant and we want to leave.
Yep.
Okay, so one box
okay.
away.
Okay, so the left box is the white shirt, the right shirt's the black shirt. I knew that was the room that had the shirts, I just couldn't remember which box was which.
I mean, short of the X-Cal, we've got 2 more chests to check, and this floor is a bust.
Oh, there's a ribbon. We'll take that. X-Cal ribbon on this floor. Feel pretty decent about that.
We've taken a few fights too. All in all, not a bad play from Tarnin. I just don't see Fizzle checking this floor.
Yeah, we'll see if Fizzle does 3rd floor into 2nd floor, or 2nd floor into 3rd floor, but...
Can you believe
Fizzle things that Tarnin's happy to see?
Fizzle just threw away the buckler with crab cakes in chat. The disdain he must have.
I mean... We've got too much good gear. We have to throw away bucklers at some point.
It's a buckler, Shadow. It's the greatest shield in the game.
I know we're gonna miss that 2-hole absorb. I know we're gonna miss that 2-hole absorb, but speed and power.
Okay, well, nope, not here. So it's either the top chests or it's the greed checks right before.
So this is getting comical. If this is literally like the 4th chest in the greed room, we'll have seen every pre-Topher box by the time that we see the last item.
If you're gonna go that far, you might as well check every chest in Topher, right? Just to kind of complete the circle.
I mean, I'm all for it, but like, what are we gonna find? I mean, at this point, Vorpal? Vorpal's gonna be in Topher, but like that's it.
I'm not mad at. Nope.
Oh, never mind.
Right
Vorpal's not in Topher.
Yeah, you picked that up, Tarnin. He knows.
Okay, so
he knows. And he's past 22, so he's already got the extra hit from it.
So at this point, Topher's got a flame shield.
Hello.
Like, good for it. Hey, there we are.
So we are official. I mean, we've been in no mode for quite some time, but now I think we're actually in no mode for Tarnin. And then
Yeah,
there's that
well,
ice shield
I
you were
mean,
talking
Tarnin's
about.
actually in go mode. Well, he's got to actually turn it in.
Yeah,
but
he's got to turn it in. It's not go mode for me until everything's lit up down there that you need, and he doesn't have it lit up yet, so.
fair enough.
So here's the question. We've been wondering what the spice is. At this point, I'm wondering if the spice is that there is no spice and we're all just going to be disappointed. But if it's going to be something like Warmech, we're about to find out soon. We could get the answer to our question coming up. If it's not Warmech, the spice is guaranteed to be in Topher.
I mean, I am not a fan of the idea that the spice is that there's not a spice. I don't feel like Fizzle and Tarnin would have trolled us that way. They seemed way too excited about there being spice for the spice to be that there is no spice.
Right? I mean, Tarnin put a poem in Discord earlier.
Oh yeah, there was lore surrounding this. Definitely go check out the Spring Tournament channel in Discord if you have not looked at it today, because there are some fantastic things that these two have put up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is yet.
Right. Steel Golem in chat. No, they did not have the loot yet because we knew it was behind the adamant, and the adamant was loose, and it was loose in the last place that we could have possibly found it. So Tarnin is about to get the loot and will be in go mode as soon as he gets out of here. Hey, look, it's our friend.
Well, no surprise that he's taking this Warmech, even if it has nothing to do with the spice. I am sure he wants these levels.
Mm-hmm. Hits decently hard, and we're not getting through too much the... oh, there's one nuke.
Oh no! Teef!
Teef is Teef first on the ground. We really want to get out of this with one of those fighters, because that Life 2 is going to come in handy. There's fast off the table. Nuke and fast off the table for the Revisited Fiends feels pretty good. Well, at least one nuke.
One nuke, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That hurts.
That's a punchy Warmech. Yes, give us some more of those fire tubes. Okay, we survived with 2 characters up. Got some really good levels on them.
Yeah, that feels real good. That feels so good, in fact, that he's not... It's not out of the question that Tarnin might take that fighter somewhere if we run into adversity to 32 for the extra swing of the Vorpal. We're not in that territory yet. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think Tarnin probably with that fight feels pretty good about his levels. I don't know that we'll see him do a grind. I know that we'll see him take more fights along the way, but I think he's got to be feeling really good about his levels.
Mazza sighting was in Marsh, of all places, with a ribbon not too far away from it. I think actually back-to-back rooms, maybe diagonal rooms, but Fizzle made it and Tarnin didn't. So Fizzle has the Mazza. Tarnin has the X-Cal and the Vorpal.
Yep. So right now it's 2 ribbons on Tarnin's side, 1 ribbon on Fizzle's side. Fizzle will probably get 2 ribbons at least, depending upon whether he checks 2nd floor first or 3rd floor first in the sky.
Well, he's going to get one out of greater than less than if he hasn't already gotten that.
Right, that's what I was saying. Is it's the difference between whether he gets 2 or 3.
Oh, right,
here.
Yeah.
Because he's absolutely picking up his 2nd ribbon here in this chest.
Okay, so we know that it wasn't that you have to fight Warmech twice. I think somebody had put that out in chat early. We saw him, we killed him, we're moving on. We're not using the Bane Sword on a pretty evade-happy Tia. Or Brax. No, we're hitting fine.
It's not too evasive. Just
yeah, we're fine now.
Just some bad luck on the first hit.
4-hit 72 does not feel good coming from the katana. It's supposed to be a crit machine. Feels pretty bad when those crits don't come through.
Yeah, but 6 for 287 gets the job done, so Tarnin now just has Go Mode of Earth and Volcano to do. Fizzle, on a tear up this Mirage Sky Tower, we're looking at maybe a 2-hour, assuming that Topher doesn't get too crazy. Obviously, we probably still have spice to come. I still don't know what that is, but we probably still have spice to come.
It's gotta be, I mean, if not a double fiend fight across the board in Topher, what is so spicy that this party's not just gonna blow right through? Maybe they didn't anticipate you being this generous with your seed rolling, and you kind of just upended their level of spiciness that they had planned.
I mean, I certainly didn't expect me to be this generous in the seed rolling. That was certainly not my intent. I wanted to see, like, a trash fire. This has not been a trash fire at all.
No, it's been really nice, actually. I'm having a good time. The problem is so are they, and that's not allowed.
Right, exactly.
I like the idea of getting thrown out
one
in chat
encounter
there.
on the ocean.
Yeah, with Lit 2.
Yeah, that was the only thing that we saw that was like, okay, this is bad. Oh, we saw sorcerers. Sorcerers were bad. But, like, not the worst in the world that I've seen.
Yeah. Tarnin, why are you checking chests? What are you doing? Okay, free chest maybe.
I think he's just checking greed chests in case Mass is here. We know he's not going to see it, but, like, that and second ribbon are literally the only things he could hope to see.
Yeah. What does he consider free? Okay, so not that one.
I think if he checks more chests, he'll check the vampire chest, maybe this top room. It's not that far out of your way. And I don't think he checks anything beyond
special?
Oh, the earth trap tile?
Mm-hmm.
Tarnin is not a fan of that tile. I don't think that he will check that chest. We know that there's nothing dangerous on it, but he does not like checking that chest for whatever reason. So I don't think that we'll see him do it.
Besides the trap tile, all things considered, it's not that bad. It only advances your step counter by like 2, I think, to go out of your way to check that. But the space in front of the door, just past the door, it's all free. So it's not like you're wasting anything more than like the 2 seconds it takes to walk it. But
right.
If you have everything you need, what's the point of checking, I guess?
Well, Tarnin, prove me wrong, does check the chest. We knew that it was just some gold, so does not find anything he's excited about. Man, this is actually going to be really close, because Tarnin's not going to take long to go do Volcano.
Yeah, but Tarnin's just giving up more and more time here.
Tarnin, what are you doing? Stop opening chests!
Stop it! I can't criticize him. I have the same problem. I'll be in go mode, and I just don't have that one weapon or that piece of gear that I want, and I'm checking, because in my head, it's like, oh, this is only 30 seconds out of my way, but the problem is you're racing somebody where 30 seconds could very well make the difference.
Tarnin, why are you taking peds? I know you'll kill them easily, but, like, they're not that good on AEXP. This is the biggest criticism that I have of Tarnin's play, is that he doesn't stop opening boxes.
Yeah. Fizzle proved me wrong.
And I know he likes to play cautiously, but just stop opening boxes.
So Fizzle's gonna have every weapon in the game that you could hope for. X-Cal to the right. Oh, he's checking. So he's gonna get his third ribbon. He's gonna get his X-Cal. He's gonna find the Vorpal if he goes anywhere other than the greed chest immediately.
Which I think you have to do. I think you have to check them in order of chest density. So you check the 6 on the right first. And then at that point, you might as well check the top before you can just, like, walk out on the greed chests. Otherwise, you have to double back, and that feels bad.
Oh no, an unrunnable fight that gives tremendous XP. You're the worst.
Oh man, I sure didn't want to grab that 3000 EXP. It's always amusing when the game is like, here, I'm going to force feed you XP, and you're like, okay.
Oh, darn. I guess I'll take it. Oh, look, here's some more. Yeah, Fizzle's levels look great. Tarnin's levels look great. Gear looks great. Magic looks phenomenal. What could Topher possibly give us? What could they give us in Topher that could make up for this?
So... yeah, I don't know. Like, there's got to be something funny with doing like multiple fiend fights or something, because I don't see why the runners would be scared of Topher otherwise.
Yeah,
Topher specifically, because their biggest concern going into this race was heal potions and Topher, and short of taking multiple fiend fights, I don't see what would cause that.
Yeah, I mean, even if, let's say it is double diving fiends, all you really have to worry about is getting evasion stacks on one of your knights. And the Life 2 is going to save you a bunch of heal pots for anyone that dies. Cure 4 would have been real nice. Obviously, we don't have that. So we're still going to burn through some heal pots. But I don't know. But I trust them. This is Trash Island Fire Department we're talking about. If they say there's spice, there's going to be spice. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what it actually is, because so far I haven't seen it.
Alright, so Fizzle finishing up the complement of swords, minus the Vorpal that he hasn't picked up just yet. But basically has every sword that you want to see going into the end game.
So I think Tarnin's actually going to win the race of lighting orbs here.
It's looking that way.
So Tarnin...
Because Fizzle did Sky 2 first, he has a little bit of an edge here.
Yeah, Tarnin taking the lead back and has... I mean, he's short the Mazza and the ribbon. So Fizzle's looking better equipment-wise. But that's not to say that Tarnin's hurting.
When you're talking about the difference of equipment-wise being S++ versus S+++,
yeah, right.
I don't think it's that big a deal.
So, yeah, we're looking at sub 2 hour Topher with every box in the game checked. That's not bad. That is not bad at all.
No, with a 4 melee party, this is nuts. I really think that Tarnin and Fizzle are going to come in here and go, Shadow, what did you do? What did you give us? This was not spicy enough. We need a rematch.
Canuck might be onto something here. Maybe it's all 4 party members to 50?
I don't think
they
so.
They did say it took them 2.5 hours.
Yeah, but like literally the seed has given them everything. So I bet their practice seeds didn't give them everything.
Yeah. I don't know, and I agree with Crab Cakes. 4 characters to 50, that's not spicy, that's boring.
Right. Like that is not Trash Island Fire Department style.
Attaboy, Fizzle. Attaboy. I don't care that you didn't equip it yet, as long as you equip it at Chaos.
Okay, so Fizzle with literally every weapon in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Also all the armor in the game. Also all the key items in the game, once he turns into Sadamant. Enters Go mode.
Feels really, really good. You remember when we said Tarnin was going to light the orb first? I take that back.
Well, Tarnin has this problem where not only does he not stop opening boxes, he doesn't stop taking fights.
Mm-hmm.
And he found one that he likes. Which, I mean, technically he might still light his orb first. It's not a far run over to carry. So we'll see what happens here.
Now, if the spice is that they're doing the fiends twice, I am still going to take... I'm saying that Fizzle slipped on banana peel, regardless of whether it was intentional or not, and he's never going to live it down. Because he's already done it once this tournament. Whether it's intentional or not, it's still a slip-up.
Yep.
In fact, all of you that are listening right now, it just would warm my heart if you would please PM Fizzle just a picture of a banana right now. Just after the race, I'd love for him to show up to Discord and have 37 PMs, and it's just a banana.
Oh my goodness. I think at that point he will come back to us and say, "Excuse me, sir. What did you do? Why are my PMs blowing up? Why are there so many bananas?"
It had nothing to do with me. So level 30 across the board. You remember when I said that Tarnin was within reach of hitting 32 on his Rorqual Wielder?
Yeah, it sure does look like he's going to hit 32.
Oh, he's going to hit it. Moist Mogwai pointing out that while you're in Discord sending banana pictures to LordFizzlebeef, please find it in your hearts to just grab the best chinchilla picture that you can find and go ahead and send that on over to Minochi85. Oh, look at Fizzle. Okay, so maybe it was you have to fight a Warmech because Fizzle's fishing.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Fighting Warmechs is good. I'm not surprised that it's a required Warmech. I am surprised that Tarnin is still taking fights here, but you know, what do I know? Tarnin's the one that specializes in melee-only parties.
If it is Warmech required, then yeah, Len the Cat, you just nailed it. Boy, did Tarnin get lucky finding it on his way up.
Yeah, Tarnin with some really good fortune there. Because I think Tarnin just did a power cycle and burnt one encounter and went in. Oh, but he saved after Mirage, didn't he? Did Fizzle save after Mirage?
He did.
I don't remember.
Did. Yeah, he went in,
okay.
Got the ribbon and whatever else was in greater than less than, I can't even remember, and then got out.
That then I really don't know. Okay, Tarnin is going to win the orb race. He is fighting Carry now. And this Carry is very dead.
Yeah, I think maybe the required Warmech was part of the agreement. It certainly wasn't the entire agreement. That's on a Scoville scale of 1 to the last dab. We're talking about that's like our first or second wing. It's not spicy at all.
Yeah, we're still in like the 10,000 range, where your tongue's gonna tingle. It's gonna still have a lot of taste, but you just still get your taste buds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not reaching for my milk. Are you?
Oh no way.
No. Okay, so sub 2-hour Topher entrance?
Sure
Feels
looks
pretty
that way.
good with this party. So buckle up, Buttercup. If your guess was that spiciness was in Topher, you're either right or, I mean, could be wrong if there's no spice at all, which, man, I hope that's not the case.
Alright, so Tarnin with 99 heal potions with really, really good equipment. The only thing he's missing is the Mazmune and a ribbon, but aside from that, has everything in the game that he could possibly want. Enters into Topher, and we're going to see how this goes.
I mean, I love the levels. We've talked ad nauseum about weapons and gear.
Oh no, we have to take these Gasties.
Oh man, and a T-Rex. Whoa, is us.
Oh no.
Shout out to Meridian for breaking the game and then fixing the game so that we get the encounter 8s again.
Right.
Alright, so we've got 4 Fiends now for Fizzle. We've got 4 Fiends for Tarnin, who's currently in Temple of Fiends Revisited. Stopping to get our loot. Probably a good idea before we go into, 2,000 years into the past. Tarnin making a beeline almost onto Lich 2's floor. We're going to find out real quick if that's part of the agreement.
Fizzle's very happy about that loot. Has to talk to the dwarves for a good 30 seconds about it. Oh no, not a worm. Oh my goodness, those worms are so squishy. Tarnin is going to take every worm that he sees.
Oh yeah. And here we go. Lich 2's floor. Fizzle has everything he needs. It is Topher time as well. Sub 2 hours for both of them. The only difference here on screen is Fizzle has the Mazza and a third ribbon.
Yeah, so let's see how long Tarnin's about 90-second advantage right now is going to play out. But Tarnin's also stopping for all of these fights, which is going to give Fizzle some room to catch up.
And I think he will too. We talked about it before. Granted, Tarnin is not hurting for weapons. He's got tremendous weapons. But that Mazza in the hands of a knight, on these percentages, Fizzle's going to have an easier time cutting through some of these bosses, I think.
I mean, realistically, with the weapon layouts that we have, that Mazza is probably the difference of, like, only about 200 to 300 damage a round. But when our damage is already, like, 500 to 900 before that Mazza, I don't think it's a big deal. It's definitely good. He's definitely happy to have it. But I don't think it's going to be a huge deal.
So we can rule out that the spiciness is to check every chest in Topher, because Fizzle just went right past the validation checks. So here we go, Lich 2 on your screen. What do you think, Shadow? Are we going to see 2 of these?
I think if we don't, I'm going to be sad. That Lich just got 2-shot. I was going to do a call-out, a play-by-play. Oh, we slipped on a banana peel.
Oh,
there's a second Lich on the screen. That got 1 shot. Okay, so double fiends are on the table. Also, Tarnin makes the quickest work of double Lich 2 that we've ever seen.
Go ahead and call him Tarnin 2 times, because you're going to see these fiends 2 times.
Alright, so we're healing before carry 2. We expect that we're going to see 2 of these carry 2s. And we're still in full fight territory. We're not bothering with boss yet. Ink is a free round.
Yeah, we've already seen, well, he saw, and this is advantage Tarnin, he saw Nuke and Fast from Warmac.
Okay, we're already north of 1,000 damage, so Carrie is probably dead with this tap swing. And she is. Oh, we found more banana peels.
That's unfortunate. Did you see him slip just then?
I did.
Oh, man.
He slipped right into Carrie's swords. Took 130 damage for it.
So Fizzlebeef is going to be making his way around over to Lich. Tarnin, you know, that was 2 carries in a row. And now we're on to... Oh, this is where the fun starts.
Yeah, once we're talking about double Kraken 2 and double Tia 2, now we're in fun territory. This is where the spice really flows. Well, this is an unrunnable fight we actually don't want, but fortunately we have 8 Fades in the tank and 8 Ice 3s to go with them.
Like the Ice 3 use over the Nuke until we run into unrunnable waters, and then I hate the Ice 3 uses.
Yeah, but that Nuke is on an overloaded spell level. We really need to be careful with those charges.
Hey, look, here's more XP for Fizzle, because that's what he needs.
Speaking of level 32 fighters, there is level 32 for Tap. So if we are switching over to Vorpal later, we're going to have that extra hit.
Does Tap have the Vorpal equipped?
I believe Tap currently has Xcal equipped.
Well, I'd be switching that right about now. Alright, waters and
the waters are runnable.
RC, I don't know that he is, because having that black shirt means you had to get rid of something else, and we just have too much good stuff to want to get rid of just for some free Ice 2 casts. Yeah,
our equipment loadout is so good. I mean, if you look at Tarnin's armor screen, there's not a thing you don't want in that armor screen. So I don't know that you can afford to take a black shirt. Alright, here we go. It's Kraken 2, number 1.
Oh, one fine day, that's the problem, is that it's not Xcal or Vorpal, it's... we could have both. But put the Vorpal in the hands of the guy that has the extra swing of it. Oh!
Ow!
That's a hit.
That's a big hit. Fortunately, our knights have life too. And Fight's got Ruse. Well, he's got the defense, which is effectively Ruse. Alright, we're on a swing now. 4 hits, 4 damage. This Kraken's got some absorb. I'm a little surprised we're not seeing some bonks coming out.
Yeah, I would have thought... Well, I think the bonk might be on the character with the defense sword.
I'm still surprised we don't see some bonks coming out. But Kraken 2 number 1 goes down.
I guess that's the benefit of banana peels, is that maybe Tarnin makes that adjustment and does defense, and then a couple bonks before swinging.
And here we go for time number 2. We're going with Ruse Strats on tap, and Fast and a White Shirt coming out. So we are making a couple of adjustments this time around.
Yeah, I like it. Kraken hits hard, and that Ice 2 is not a hit, so...
Yeah, that Ice 2 is pretty favorable for us this time. Okay, so we actually didn't go with Ruse. I thought we were doing Ruse, but looks like we didn't. I don't know how I feel about using these temper charges already. I know Kraken has some absorb, but we still got 2 Tia 2s and a Chaos to go through.
And you've already seen that you can get through Kraken. I mean, sure, you might lose a couple people, but you're gonna get through with that Knight. And the Knight has life too. I don't like the temper use there.
But Kraken 2 number 2 goes down. And we just have 2 Tia 2s and a Chaos at this point, and Tarnin maintaining a 2-floor advantage right now.
Mazza check, please. Please check Vanilla Mazza.
I don't think we're going to see that.
Oh, I want to see it so bad.
I know, but I don't think we're gonna.
We're not gonna.
Tarnin team, take every fight. Taking these rock goals.
So Fizzle is technically 2 Fiends behind right now?
Yeah, technically 2 Fiends behind right now. We'll go with that. Alright, looks like Tiamat does not have that much evasion. Is not punching very hard, so we're not going to see any more defense uses. This is just swing territory. Has decent absorb, but not fantastic. Oh, but no HP. All right.
Canuck, I think this would have been spicy, this double fiend fighting of Topher, if Shadow didn't give them the most free magic seed that I've seen in quite a while. So you can't blame the runners. It was a good idea.
I apparently trolled the spice. It wasn't my intent, but I apparently trolled the spice.
You just splashed a little bit of milk on the seed, no big deal.
Alright, Tarnin onto Chaos's floor at 205.31. So, definitely looking really good right now. Fizzle still working on taking out Kraken 2 number 1, I believe. I think he's got to slip on one more banana peel here.
Yeah, so now it's time to Caster Curse, right? We haven't seen the other nukes, we haven't seen Nuclears, we haven't seen Death Touch. I don't think we've seen Stone Touch.
There's like a million things that we haven't seen. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. Well, I'm pushing buttons in the back, behind the scenes, and I've just made sure that Chaos has a nuke, at least a nuclear, and I'm throwing in Cure 4 just for good measure.
Alright. Powerbong's coming out. That tap is looking really strong right now. We're going to temper up Cobb. 1150 damage. And
what?
GG Tarnin.
Excuse me? I want my money back.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, what? I just popped open a beer. I was getting excited to find out what Chaos was going to have. What?
That's it. Chaos is dead. I have a feeling I'm about to get a stern talking to. We're trying to get Tarnin in here for an interview.
Alright, well, let's see if we can get him in here, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and watch Fizzle as he whittles down his HP, or his health pots here. He's going to be making his way over to Tiamat 2, Part 1. But it was two-time and Tarnin that took the race here. Made sure he got the levels off the grind tile there right in front of the chime, which we saw in Volcano was the incentivized trap tile chest. And he made good use of it. Didn't have the Mazza, didn't have the third ribbon, but had everything else you could hope for. But here we go. 3 hits, 52 coming out from Tiamat. It's time to start swinging here. The X-Cal swinging out 5 hits, 600 damage. Down goes Tiamat 2 for the first time. And now it's time to slip on the banana peel, and here we go again. Power Bonk coming off. We know it's not too bad. We're going to waste some Sabers, though, but with the chaos we've seen, we know it's not a waste. Fire 3 coming out. Sabers are going to buff up the ninjas. Power Bonks, we're just buffing up. We know the swings are going to come. 4 hits, 132. Saber coming out from Spee. Power is swinging. 377. Down goes Tiamat 2 for the second time, and we are on to Chaos. Fizzlebeef probably going to do a victory lap. I would expect a victory lap. He does not do the victory lap. We are joined in chat by Tarnin. GG Tarnin. We will get to you in just a second. Your opponent is just about to pull Chaos here.
Sadly, the chaos was a disappointment, so it shouldn't be too long.
Oh, we're going to talk about that, sir. I blame you guys.
I'm sure that you have some harsh words for me. We're getting there. All right, so we're going with ruse strats. Here come the fasts. Alright, so we're bonking right away. Chaos with the ice 2. Just chip damage. More bonk. Some swings. Fast for everybody. Speed and power, here we go. Chaos comes out with the stun. 9 hits for 736. I think we got one more round of this, and then we're going to be seeing a GG. Oh, here comes a zap.
That could have been
no
fun.
one. And GG Lord Fizzlebeef.
GG Fizzle.
Tarnin.
Yeah.
I was promised
How's it going?
spice. And wouldn't you know it, Shadow just poured milk all over your spice.
Yeah, I know. In practice, the spice was terrifying and yielded many wipes and many fun first turn nukes. And so I over-prepared for it because I expected it to be spicier, and then Topher was really, really, really simple.
Fizzlebeef, welcome. GG to you as well.
So
Yeah.
I feel bad because we were promised spice. We've been hyping it up all race. We were trying to guess what the spice was. Demon Frog actually, with the accurate guess, an hour and a half ago, that it was going to be double Fiends and Topher. And then the seed just gave you everything. It just actually gave you everything.
Not everything. We didn't have the third ribbon or a Mazza.
I had a
you
third
did.
ribbon and a Mazza.
Fizzle had third ribbon and Mazza.
Because
Where
I
were
last
they?
locationed loot.
Where were they? Marsh, I presume?
Yeah, there was a ribbon and a Mazza in Marsh.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
get
Marsh bottom.
Fizzle checked, I believe, every chest in the game.
Nice.
Yep. Well, outside Topher and TOF locked, yes.
Yeah,
Nice.
well, we don't count those, but yes.
That sounds miserable. So you didn't like the adamant in the last chest in Sky, I'm hearing?
Sure didn't. I didn't dislike it because it let me find all the things I needed to prepare for the Topher I thought was coming.
Yeah, I also thought a good Topher was coming. Instead, the saddest, lamest, weakest Topher was coming.
Yeah. I hit 30 across the board.
Yeah, I went and I ground the Agama R-Giants up to 31 on a Katana and 29 on an X-Cow because I thought it would be a Topher like any of my practices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I'm sorry
Well,
anyone who's expecting spicier.
Was that it? Was it the double fiend? We thought maybe it was a Force War Mech because you got one, and Fizzle, you were looking for one?
I was looking for one because I was looking to pad levels, and at that point, I had opened every box in the game at that point. I was in it for the swag.
So, the Warmech is where all of the good things rolled.
Oh.
It had a nuke, it had at least around 2,000 hit points. When it meleeed me, it hit me through a defense stack for 800.
Well, it did have fast.
It did have fast, that's true.
So yeah, you were able to get that information. short of the early game in Shadow, we kind of pointed this out along the way. You had some adversity on the high seas, and yeah, the sorcerer's kind of not too friendly, but about as free of a seed as you could have hoped for given this party.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mage Staff 5 seconds in felt real good.
Yeah, Mage Staff 5 seconds in felt real bad. I wanted the trash heap to burn longer.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a slow burn, and like we were all sorts of excited about what the spice was going to be. We saw you not buy the silver axe, so I thought maybe it was going to be like you weren't buying good equipment, but then you bought pro rings, and then you bought gold bracelets.
Yeah, I brought pro rings and silver swords the second I saw them.
So
I was
yeah.
I was anticipating high absorb or high dodge or like early nukes out of any of the Fiend 2s or like Kraken melee. That was the thing that I was gearing myself up to deal
Kraken
with.
melee one shot a guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we also had perfect magic, right? Like we didn't have Cure 4 or Heal 3, but we had
Life 2.
We had Ruse, we had Invis 2, we had Temper, Saber, and Fast. So, yeah, sorry.
And Nuke Fade Ice 3.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we should have done triple Fiends or quadruple Fiends.
I mean, the practices were bad enough. Like, if this was a seed like we had in practice, we'd still be going for like another half an hour at least.
Yeah, so in practice, I had a seed where 3 of the Fiends started with Nuke or Nuclear. In both of my practices, I ran out of heal pots on Tia floor every time I got there. Yeah, so I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry it wasn't spicier.
So my genius idea for that was I was looking for loot anyway, so like I had to open boxes, but I was fishing up both heal helmets and the heal staff, and I was going to take easy fights on the earth and fire floors, and then just spam heal equipment to heal up instead of using heal pots.
I like it. I wish I'd thought of that. Yeah.
And then I had like 70 heal pots when I got to Chaos anyway.
Yeah, I had silver helmets equipped, so I could have replaced those with heal helmets. That's a good idea. I wish I'd thought of that. I mean, we didn't need it, but...
Yeah.
But it's still brilliant.
Fizzle, I want to talk about your big brain play. Your actual big brain play.
Oh, no.
Because I didn't actually see it coming. So early on, Fizzle lets go of a thief. And I'm like, I don't get why we're not taking all 4 characters. And then Fizzle lets go of a fighter, and I'm like, wait a second, why are we going to 2-man? This is madness. What are we doing? And then Fizzle, big brain that he is, gets the tail and brings the other 2 back up, and I was like, oh my god, it's amazing.
Yeah, I was always going to a level where it didn't matter what level I was when I promoted.
So, in my practices, the worst thing in the world was trying to get all 4 melee off the ground in a timely manner. So, I told myself that I was actually just going to flip to 2-man until those 2 people got to, like, level 20-ish, or until I was, like, getting ready for a tail turn-in or whatever. And then I'd bring the rest of the party back up, so I'd have the 2 people to escort, like, 2 functional people to escort the 2 that can't do anything.
Sure.
And then, eventually, by the end of the game, like... I was thinking I would have like 2 level 32s and 2 like level 20s, but they actually got shockingly close.
Mine were kind of spread out just from people dying. I think I was on 32, 29, 26, 25 or something like that. Not in that order, but because the X-Cal was, I think maybe it was 30. And then the katana was 32, and the other ones were not enough for an extra hit, but enough to live through a nuke. Not that we saw nukes outside of War Mech.
I have a quick question for you, Tarnin.
Yeah.
Do you know what the breakpoints are for the Vorpal?
For Vorpal?
Because you hit it.
Oh,
on
did
one
I?
Character, and you didn't switch, and we were wondering if you knew or you just didn't care.
So I have all of this Swiss tournament. I have been on a fighter and a katana, and so I have never once in this tournament wanted to equip a Vorpal, and so I'm sure that I used to know it, and no, I don't remember it.
Just for future reference, it kind of lines up with Black Belt. It's 2232.
Oh, that makes sense.
2230. Just remember the 2s on the Vorpal, and you're good to go. By the way, you have a new nickname. We're calling you 2-Time and Tarnin because because of the double fiend fights that we had to see here. So you're welcome for that. And Fizzle, boy, I sure hope you've got some PMs in Discord.
I actually have a banana peel that I'm staring at right now. It's real good.
Oh no. So originally, when we were trying to figure out what to do, I of course suggested Fighter Thief None None, and Fizzle was having none of it. So then Fizzle responded with, we should make up a bingo card and not tell anyone that we have a bingo card and just have you guys guessing the whole time what the heck we're doing. And that sounded amazing, but I don't have the screen real estate for that to have not stressed me out, so I shut that one down.
Mm-hmm.
We had somebody in chat guessing at your spiciness, and they threw out an idea that I think well exceeds Trash Island Fire Department levels of spicy, but possibly exceeds the time we had today. And that was that at about an hour in, you were just going to reset your game and do like a new game plus level of, hey, I know where everything is, now let's go again.
That would be awesome.
We were kind of hoping for that, but we figured that wasn't the case. But I do want to put that little brain nugget in your heads.
Yeah.
So maybe another race sometime. Maybe an Iron Goal match between Tarnin and Fizzle. Who knows?
Yeah, I would totally be down for something like that. Yeah, that'd be really cool, because you could like use the learning that you have to design the perfect party for what the early game looks like. You use the early game scouting instead of trying to like get gear or levels. Yeah, that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. If we had thought of that, we might have tried that.
All right, so Tarnin, you're moving on to 4-1. Thoughts as you're looking forward to next week?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's fair.
There are a bunch of racers still at 4-1. I mean, 2 of my opponents are 4-1. 2 of them are 3-2, right? So I can't play those ones. There's a bunch of racers out there who are 4-1 who, if I pair against them, I mean, they're going to win, right? I'm not the fastest racer. I like having fun. I like doing ridiculous things. But I'm not the fastest, and that's fine. There's a number of racers out there who I think I could talk into doing something fun, and we'd put on a fun show. Whether I win or not is kind of irrelevant. So I guess I hope I get one of them.
And FizzleBeef, you're moving into the 3-2. If you want a chance at brackets, you're at least going to be in the meat grinder of last chance qualifier.
Yeah,
I'm staring at chance play-in race.
Yeah, I'm staring at the play-in race, and all I hear is "Hello, darkness, my old friend." So,
either of you have some final thoughts on the seed before we move on? Let's start with Tarnin.
It was a fun seed. The early game was nice and trolly. Like, there was a crap ton of everything had stun touch or poison touch, and like. Apparently Fizzle was on a Mazza, and we had that mage staff, but like I was on bad weapon for quite a long time. I was on silver swords forever.
Oh, I didn't get my Mazza until like 90 minutes in.
Oh, good.
That would have made a huge difference, I think, if you would have picked it up early. But yeah, you guys both skipped it early.
I got a light axe and like a coral sword. Yeah, and I did that volcano dive early. I did that because I thought Fizzle would never do volcano early, and if there was something that would give me an advantage there, it would like propel me and like give me velocity compared to him, and then volcano was absolutely a bust. And I didn't get anything that would let me get through carry. And I was out of heal pod. So I decided to walk out, but luckily I took with me the information of that Argiant Agama, and so like I had that in the back of my head for a leveling location. So at least that was good, but man, volcano was not the play.
Oh, I want to correct misinformation in chat that I just put up. Official SRL times, the finish times, Tarnin was 2:06:33, and Fizzle was 2:09:35. So the times that you're seeing on screen are not 100% accurate for finish times. That being said, cool. Fizzle... Sorry, fuck.
No, go ahead.
Fizzle, final thoughts for the seed.
You can make all the plans in the world for what's going to be awesome, and sometimes the randomizer giveth, and sometimes the randomizer taketh away.
It sure does. Falconic, this has been a hell of a broadcast. It was super fun. It was a really enjoyable race, really close. Great friends, all 4 of us, so we were both super excited to do commentary for you two. Yeah, this was just fantastic. What do you
Yeah,
have to
we
say?
wanted to jump in this race the second that we saw that it was on the schedule. The one thing that I ask though is that the next time, like, I don't ever want to be in a kitchen with Shadow Walker because I feel like Mom and Dad got together and they were gonna create this amazingly spicy curry, and they put in all the goodiness that you could ever hope for to burn your tongue. Like, you're gonna have a bad day the next day, right? That's about as far as I need to go with that. But then Shadow Walker just walks on by and dumps in 3 gallons of whole milk and just ruins all the spice. So I'm really hoping that we get to see this again sometime. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, iron goal. With this plus more spicy. And we all agree, right? Shadow's not allowed to roll it.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
Okay. But
Yep,
other than that,
that's
Shadow,
true.
it's always a blast to do comms with you. You guys are 3 of my best friends in the entire community. Any chance I get to work with you or call your races, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm canceling my plans and I'm there. So it was a blast for me.
I'm really glad you guys were able to do it. I can't wait to watch it back. I'm
Yep.
really excited to listen to you guys' comms, and I'm really glad
We
that you guys
critiqued you so hard.
Oh, I imagine.
I hope that you enjoy it. Know that everything that we said comes from love.
Oh no,
big-
so many times in this I made decisions that were explicitly the wrong play because I was trying to play around what Fizzle was going to do, and none of them paid off.
That's fair. So huge thanks to Danny. She was our tracker. Had to step out a little bit ago, but big thanks to Danny. Big thanks to Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 4 for allowing us to broadcast this race. It was a ton of fun. Big thanks to all the raids that came in. If anybody's still sticking around, thank you very much. And yeah, this was a fantastic race. Falconic, why don't you send us home?
Yeah, you said it best. Thanks to Tarnin and Fizzle for trying to make this as spicy as possible before you ruined it. Thanks for Speed Gaming 4 for hosting us. Danny, tracker extraordinaire, has grown leaps and bounds. It's night and day, the Danny that I met years ago. So always fun to get to work with her as well. And I'm looking forward to it. Tarnin 4-1. You're the one that gave me my only loss of the tournament, and I think I can hang my hat pretty high on that accomplishment. If anyone's going to beat me, it's going to be you. So
Yeah,
good luck to.
I'm really happy that you've gone 4-1 as well. That's really exciting.
It was pure luck, I'll tell you that much. ADD has a little bit to play. The fact that I forget I have key items definitely works in my favor, but we're not going to talk about that. We're 4-1. We're feeling good. And we hope to see you guys all next week as Tarnin continues strange parties, we hope, and Fizzle has to deal with potential last chance qualifier feels bad. But for Shadow Walker, my name is Falconic. We appreciate you all joining us here. We have many, many more races left today, so please check the Discord, tune in, join us. And until then, we will catch you guys all later. Thanks so much for joining.